From the waters of the Caspian Sea to the St. Lawrence River, welcome along to round 7 of the Breakout Racing League Realistic Performance Championship and the Canadian Grand Prix. The previous 2 weeks, we have traveled to circuits and countries small in size. Well, this week, we traveled to the second largest country by total land area, and with an area of 9.98 million square kilometers, and the largest coastline in the world. The sheer size of the country allows for more people within the Canadian borders, which now leads to the Canadian population making up about 0.5% of the world's total population. Well, that may double during the weekend, especially during race weekends here in Montreal. Speaking of Montreal, let's talk about the circuit then. Circuit Gilles Villeneuve has 14 corners, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, which makes up the 4.361 kilometer, 2.71 mile circuit with the addition of 3 DRS zones into turn 1, turn 8, which we're approaching right now with Kieran Evans, and turn 13, which makes the average lap speed around here 130 miles per hour, with the top speed equaling around 200 going to the braking zone of turn 13. 60% of the circuit is taken at full throttle, and some of its quickie corners on the calendar. Tires are a necessity. Well, never fear. Pirelli is here with the softest range of the compounds, like it has been for the last 2 Grand Prix with the C5, C4, and the C3 tires, with the C5 being the red-wooled softs, C4 being the yellow-wooled mediums, and the C3 being the white-wooled hard compounded tire. And, of course, the intermediates and full wets are available to be used if deemed necessary. Right now, through the qualifying wash session, it seems it is all good and dry. Let's go to the championship then. MooMoo in the Ferrari leads the championship by 18 points over the McLaren of UnsightedPort. 94 points for the Ferrari, 76 from the McLaren. Well, now, after a win a week ago, he moves up 4 spots. Zachthebeast with 57 points now leads the sister car of Alpha Tauri's Bailey 29 by 1 singular point, who sits 5 points ahead of the Ferrari in 5th. That is Boss Cookie, who actually is here this weekend. He was not there the last couple of weekends. He's now back and in that scarlet red car. Muniko, the other Red Bull, he moves up a couple spots, 2 to be exact. He's up to 6 now, 44 points. He is 7 behind the Ferrari of Cookie and 1 ahead of the Mercedes of Deer Hunter. He is now going to try the best he can. As Supply Raptor's been disqualified for the session, by the way. We'll go into that in a second. John, the other Mercedes, he is P8 in the championship. 38 points to his name. He is here. You see TGM John in the 7th position. He's at a lap. Let's see what he can do. He's down 2 positions, only 5 back from his teammate. But he is 10 points ahead of his old teammate. Actually, I guess his old car. Taylor Clan, the McLaren, the Mercedes-powered car, with 28 points to his name in 9th, who leads over DRC Jared by 3 points in 10th, who leads over his teammate, Ferrari Nut, by 2 points. Let's go to the Constructors' Championship. Then McLaren leads by 11 points over Red Bull. The gap is decreasing. You see Kieran Evans set his original lap with Crispy going even faster, 9.4 in the Alpha Tauri. McLaren, 147 points over Red Bull with 136. Like I said, 11 points. That's coming down. I guess double that. A week ago, out of the race goes Kieran Evans. That's Kieran Evans out of qualifying. I looked up for a split second and saw the Williams crashing, and that is not good at all for the Williams. He's now going to be a 12.1 is his time, and that's going to lock him into Q2 at the moment, but that's not guaranteed. Let's go back to the Constructors' Championship then. Mercedes P3, they are 50 points back. Remember, 5-0 back from Red Bull, the team that they thought they were going to be challenging for the Constructors' Championship. They're 50 points back after the 6th round they've gone through. This is round 7. Can they grow any gap to Red Bull or close it down? Alpha Tauri, they're 6 points back from the Brackley-based team, and 4th ahead of the other Italian-based team, Ferrari, by about 15 points. Ferrari, which is about 17 clear of the Alpine team in 6th with 48 points. Alpine sit 13 ahead of Aston Martin in 7th, who sit 24 points. That's a pretty good margin of gap between them and Alfa Romeo in 8th, the 3rd and final Italian team. And you have Haas with 3 points in 9th, and Williams once again rounding out the top 10 and the Constructors' Championship. They have yet to score a point. My name is Hey Catcher, joined alongside once again nobody, because, I'm just kind of having some fun here in the Realistic Championship, and some of these drivers are doing the same. You see some guys have chosen and their tires so far. Remember, the tires do not matter in qualifying 1. Well, everyone's chosen the soft C5 anyway. Well, we see some times being up on the board. You see Crispy has gone provisional pole. Zachthebeast goes even faster, 9.3 for the Red Bull, the sister car, and 9.4. And you see John getting out of the way. He went P3 ahead of MooMoo in the Ferrari. You see, once again, the championship leader trying to muscle his way through the streets. Actually, it's the street hybrid of Montreal Gilles Villeneuve. And, he's doing pretty good right now. P4 in that Ferrari. The Alpine, not too far behind him, about 3/10 of drift. Jared ahead of Cookie by less than a 10th. And Cookie's beating Ferrari Nut by a significant amount, about 1.6 seconds. Phantom goes up to P7, 11.4 for the Aston Martin. Well, let's see. Alpine's Ferrari Nut looks like he is on another lap. Is that going to be a better lap for the Alpine? Going around turn 14, the Wall Life champions. Keep in mind that will be a pretty much, I guess, a sheer scene in the race. Could we see a lot of guys hit that championship wall? We've had many champions hit it in the past. I believe Taylor's hit it at least once or twice in the Canadian Grand Prix history here in the Realistic. And remember, he is a double-time world champion in the Realistic Performance tier, the only one to be exact. So we'll see how that plays out. Ron Swanson, 11.9 in the Alfa Romeo, and that's going to be a lap that he needs to get into Q2. Right now, remember, the cutoff line is 12.1, set by Kieran Evans, who is out of qualifying 1. His teammate, Supply Raptor, has been disqualified from qualifying. Both Williams, right now, at the moment, will not make it to qualifying 2. Even if Kieran Evans goes into that top 15, he will not take part in qualifying 2 on the track. So let's take a line on that. But let's go through a little bit of the field here. You see Luciano right here. He got his contract a week ago in Azerbaijan and had a little bit of an up and down race. Him and his Mercedes teammate. But this is a guy who needs a really good race. After DNFing a week ago in Azerbaijan at the castle section, he goes up to P4 next to his teammate by about 0.2 adrift. So keep in mind how will Deer Hunter do this race. Mercedes 50 points back in the Constructors' Championship from Red Bull, 3rd overall with 86 points. So that's going to be a major implication of what they can do around Gilles Villeneuve here in Montreal. Well, they need to beat not only Zachthebeast, who's now retired, in the pit lane. He believes he is safe and clear through the session, which I don't actually disagree with. I believe he is fine and will go through the session pretty easily. But also, his teammate, Muniko, the Canadian. This is his home Grand Prix in the White Bull. He needs to try to do the best he can for his home fans in Canada. Well, we'll see how he plays out. Turn 13 approaching quickly. He needs to keep it valid, which he does. 13's pretty clear. That's going to be the run of the line for the Red Bull in the White Bull livery. And that's a P3, a 9.5 split right now by the AlphaTauri, the sister car of Crispy. In that other AlphaTauri, you see a lap goes up. That's Axif 1, 11.6. That's a great lap from the Haas driver. And that puts him into provisional top 10 positions for him. Let's go look right now at the championship. Like I said, the Constructors' Championship leaders and the championship runner-up at the moment, UnsightedPort in the McLaren. Right now, he's going to start his out lap as his teammate Taylor Clan is starting his flying lap. He's done a couple laps on those softs already, and I believe he has probably where made a little bit of an implication. You see the McLaren right now of Taylor Clan going through into turn 7, now through into the DRS straight into turn 8 in about. One thing to look out for, penalties may be a major implication, as you see invalidated right there. Taylor Clan invalidated through turn 8 and 9. That's going to be a major implication of how these drivers make it through the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve and the Canadian Grand Prix is how many penalties will they have, and that's going to be a something to look out for as we go through the Grand Prix. Dixie Ishigo in the pit lane, but look at the guy who's not in the pit lane right now. Bailey 29, I said he is now 4th in the championship, was jumped by Zachthebeast in the sister car after his win a week ago in Baku. Red Bull's first win since MooMoo, and I believe Spain was the last one. Let's go look through the final chicane, the championship wall, according to Robert Kubica, or the Wall of Champions. Going through Bailey, going to the final, and he goes up to P4 right now as a Honda 1, 2, 3, 4 staggered. Red Bull, AlphaTauri. Red Bull, AlphaTauri. With a 9-3, 9-4, 9-5, 9-6. These drives. Oh, Bailey almost loses it into the barriers. He does lose it in half spin, and we'll have to kind of get out of the way. The car behind him is going to be a Mercedes. It may have actually been John, yes, it will. You see behind him is a McLaren. I believe that may be Taylor, but we've gone through. So 13 times have been put on the board. The lowest one right now is at 11.9, so by Ron Swanson. Kieran Evans, once again, is that cutoff line in 15th. He's at a time of 12.1. He crashed out of qualifying and will not take any more part, even if he gets into that top 15. So if you're new tuning into the Breakout Racing League, welcome. It's been a pleasure. And the Canadian Grand Prix is going to be a pretty exciting one, I have a feeling, and it's going to be one you want to remember for a long period of time. Baku, Monaco, both were pretty extreme and pretty exquisite races in the two street circuits prior to this race. This is a street circuit hybrid. You see right here, this part of the track may actually be driven on by normal people of the public in about 362 days of the year. Right here, you could see just a normal car going through on this part of the track, and that's why it could be beneficiary for some of these guys who are strong in street circuits. How well they're going to master this track so far in Montreal. Well, like I said, the top 4 Hondas with Zachthebeast leading the charge, and John's not too far off the back of that rear wing of the AlphaTauri there in 4th. You see right there about 0.3 of a second, roughly. And Bailey retires in the pit lane along with Muniko and with Zach the Beast. We'll see those guys believe they are safe up in the top 4 positions here in Montreal. The times starting coupling down. We have more guys getting in and setting their times. UnsightedPort, it did a 10.3. And the McLaren Deer Hunter, he's over here still once again getting out of the way now for a car behind him. It looks like an Aston Martin. Is that going to be Phantom or Luciano? That is going to be Luciano going through the final chicane right now. Luciano has not set a lap. Can he set a lap in the Aston Martin that will rival his teammate up in P12? He goes even better. P11, 10.4 for the Aston Martin. Not too far back behind UnsightedPort in the McLaren. And that's a lap that he wants to try to match. XF1 splits the 2 Haas's right now at 11.0. That's a really great lap for Max in the Haas team. And, well, once again, Phantom 11.4, Ferrari 11.8, Ron Swanson 11.9, with Kieran Evans now have been knocked out into the bottom 5. He will not participate in any further in qualifying. Like I said, he was in the top 5 prematurely as he set his, opening lap, but crashed out into, I believe, turn 4 it was, coming out of turn 4 into turn 5, I believe, halfway through that corner. Lost it on the rears and the curb, and, well, unfortunately is out of qualifying and will no longer take part. So, right now he starts P16, but Dixie, Ichigo, Taylor Clem is now on another flying lap in a few moments' time, and Valkyrie have all yet to set a time. Valkyrie subbing in for I Am Tweaking, who unfortunately could not be here tonight, and DXT Ichigo subbing in for, I believe, Ed Ronha, who once again could not be here tonight. I believe everyone else is in the respected seats. First time in a long time we've had about mostly a full grid of contracted drivers. Only ones that we have that are non-contracted that are reserves. Once again, DC Ishigo and Valkyrie 420. We'll see how those guys play out. Right now, cutoff line 11.9, Ron Swanson. And then Alfa Romeo, keep in mind, Ron Swanson has had a strong couple of races in Alfa Romeo, but I mean, he wants to replicate what he did back in Spain where he got that points-paying position. That it really helped out Alfa get ahead and clear of Haas, because and at the time Alpine before their 1-3 at Monaco. Well, they want to have a good performance. Both Alfa Romeos here tonight. You see Ron Swanson and Dixie Ishigo. Those two are not unfamiliar with each other. They weren't necessarily teammates before, but they definitely know each other. Let's see what they can do and have some fun in that Alfa Romeo camp. You see Taylor Clan right there, once again on an out lap. He's actually starting his flying lap ahead of Ron Swanson, and behind him is going to see the Ferrari, I believe, that is Boss Cookie right now, 10.0. He was jumped by his teammate Moo. I think Moo was already ahead of him. Boss Cookie jumped up ahead of Luciano, Jared, and all those likes up to P8. So now he's about a 10th or so off his teammate. So Crispy's out on another lap. The teammates are next to each other. John Deer Hunter, Moo, Boss Cookie. And you have a couple of the drivers looking for their positions and trying to get in that top 15 to get into qualifying 2 here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve at Montreal. And it's going to be a very fun one to especially watch. I believe that is Boss Cookie either losing it. Oh, he's completely lost it. He's against the wall and trying to stay out of the way. Thankfully, he's ghosted. Here comes Valkyrie out on an out lap for that Haas. What exactly is going on with the Ferrari here? Cookie, you doing okay? All right, let's move on. Taylor Clan just went up ahead of his teammate, who actually retired in the pit lane, by the way, on UnsightedPort. 10.3. Taylor Clan 10.3 ahead of his teammate. And John has retired in the pit lane as well. The top 5, except for all retired in the pit lane, and believe they are safe to go into qualifying 2. I said Crispy's on a flying lap. Let's see him right there. You see he's in 8th gear. Looks like he may have already bailed out on that flying lap. Yes, you see as he cuts through turn 9. Boss Cookie ahead of him. I'm not exactly sure what happened there a second ago. But with that lap from Taylor, by the way, that knocks down Ron Swanson down to P16. Ferrari Nuts on our out lap as well. He's P15 on the cutoff. So we'll see what those guys can do. DXC Ishigo is on an out lap. Ron Swanson going to be on a flying lap going through turn 8 and 9. It's going to be a lap of his life. He can get into the qualifying 2 once again. It's difficult. He said that he likes the track. I mean, it's fun to drive, but it's just not very pacey there in the Alfa Romeo. The straight line deficit just kind of too big going down that main straight from right here, turn 11, down all the way down to turn 13. You see a little bit of a kink right here, classified as turn 12 right there. So we'll see what the Alfa Romeo can do. Once again, this Ferrari straight line deficit is going to hurt some of these guys. Moo, Boss Cookie are probably going to struggle a little bit down that straights, but right here is going to be the major part. Oh, into the wall, I think. May have actually scraped away unscathed there for Ron Swanson in the Alfa Romeo. Does he improve? Yes, he does at 11.6. And, well, that would be enough to put him into 15th if Ferrari didn't go a second faster. 10.6 for the Alpine ahead of the Haas of F1 with 11.0, and Moomoo is now retired in the pit lane as well. You see DXC Ishigo, he's now starting his flying lap. One Alfa to the other, and the Alfa Romeo just obliterates and goes a little bit too deep into the turn 1 apex, and unfortunately cannot carry that lap up with enough speed. He may have to try again. He's on a flying lap as well. The yellow flag through sector 1. No one is there. The little Phantom goes flying. But this is going to be the lap that has to count for DXT and for Valkyrie. If they did not fuel, Valkyrie has to make sure he does not invalidate his flying lap at a few seconds' time. 2 minutes left to go in the session. It's all or nothing for the Alfa Romeo and the Haas. Because remember, both Williams are going to be out of qualifying. Kieran Evans and Supply Raptor, they cannot participate in anymore. They're going to be 17th and 20th at the moment. Supply Raptor disqualified. He will start 20th regardless. So, can DXT Ishigo get himself out of the bottom 5? It needs to beat his teammate at least at 11.6 to get to 16th, 11.4 to get the Phantom. Well, that's going to be a lap he's going to have to try to beat, as he's going to go in on an outlap as well. Valkyrie, we're on board with him. Deer Hunter's on an outlap. And the Mercedes, you see him going through into turn, I believe, now 8 in a couple moments' time. Valkyrie's going to start his flying lap in the Haas. He needs to get out of qualifying 1. He wants to get out of qualifying 1. His teammate is doing 11.0. Can he get there? Valkyrie trying to go match up Axe. It's going to be a strong ass in a tall order, but can the Haas do it? Let's see what he plays up. DXT Ishigo. Well, he had a little bit of a moment through turn 1, 15.1. He may have backed out. Let's see what his flying lap is. Going into turn 1 a lot better than it was a lap ago. The Alfa Romeo needs to find a decent and a considerable amount of time to go catch up to his teammate, Ron Swanson. 11.6, SP16 right now. We have a lot of guys still on the flying laps. Outlap for Phantom, outlap for Taylor, outlap for Deer Hunter. Everyone else right now, Luciano, Boss Cookie, they're both on flying laps. Pitting for Jared, Ferrari Nut, both Alpines. Axe F1 believes he's safe and is through into qualifying 2. He did not go out. The checkered flag for the guys who have not come out of the pit lane is up. Ron Swanson's going to stay 16th. Axe is going to stay 14th. Ferrari Nut 13th. Jared 10th, unless something changes. Ron Swanson retires in the pit lane. That's not going to be up to DXT, who has to back out of the lap a little bit. That may have cost him a little bit of time. Does he have any front wing damage? We'll have to figure out how that Alfa Romeo continues up through the rest of the lap and goes a little bit too deep through the final sector. And in that hairpin, that's going to really hurt him in the rest of this flying lap. Let's see Valkyrie ahead of him, though, in the Haas. Oh, a little bit off and invalidated. The Haas of Valkyrie going to be out of qualifying 1. Ron Swanson out of qualifying 1. I believe DXT Ishigo, his teammate, may also be out of qualifying 1. We'll see in a couple seconds' time through turn 13. That's actually a Ferrari. Is that crashing the pit lane? No, he's not. It looks like he's all good. Boss Cookie is going through. DXT, can he get out? No, he can't. 12.5, and that's going to be out of qualifying. Ron Swanson, Kieran Evans, DXT Ishigo, Valkyrie 420, and Supply Raptor all are out of qualifying 1 at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. We have a couple guys still on a flying lap, one of them being BRL Phantom, and right now he made it through 11.4 just. So he's not going to be under safe. He's not going to be under threat to go and out of qualifying 1, but we'll see how that plays out after all. Deer Hunter improved. He's up to a 9.5. He broke up that Honda streaking in the top 4 with Zach Crispy, Muniko, and with Bailey. Now he's up in the 4th in that Mercedes. Luciano, he's pitted. He's not going to bail out on his lap. Phantom goes up to a 10.7. He's going to improve on his lap. Taylor behind him. He doesn't improve as well, so it's going to be, that's it for qualifying 1. Once again, obviously those guys, they were not under threat of being eliminated from qualifying 1. They wanted to go and do a little bit more laps. So right now, topping qualifying 1 is the man who did it a week ago. Zachthebeast at 9.3 ahead of Crispy in the Alpha Tauri, ahead of his teammate Muniko in 3rd, with Deer Hunter 4th, Bailey 5th, John 6th, Moomoo and Boss Cookie the Ferrari 7th, 8th, Luciano 9th, Jared rounds out the top 10, Taylor ahead of his teammate Port, Ferrari Nut 13th, Phantom, we're on board with right now, in 14th, Axe F1 15th, with out of qualifying run is going to be Ron Swanson, Kieran Evans, DXT Ishigo, and Valkyrie 420, who we're waiting for to get into the pit lane, and we should advance in a few seconds' time. Well, it was quite the opposite. A week ago, the man in 3rd was topping the timing sheets, and, well, he ended up not winning the race. Could it be the complete opposite this week? Well, we'll have to figure it out. It's only been qualifying 1. Zachthebeast tops the session once again by 1/10 of a second, about 1.5 or so ahead of Crispy and P2 in the Alpha Tower, the sister car. Muniko once again in 3rd. Deer Hunter broke up the Honda 1, 2, 3, 4, with Bailey now splitting both Mercedes. Ferraris 7th, 8th. Luciano, Jared, Taylor Clan, UnsightedPort, Ferrari Nut, Phantom, Axe, out of qualifying 1. Once again, it's going to be Ron Swanson, Kieran Evans, DXT Ishigo, Valkyrie, and Supply Raptor, who is disqualified from the session. Qualifying 2, and Montreal is back, and we are ready to get back on track. We see one of the Alpha Tauris. I believe it was going to be Bailey. Yes, it is. He was one of the first ones out a week ago. Actually, every session, I believe, and he wants to continue that streak. His teammate, behind him in 14th, and we'll see what he can do. Obviously, there's no time spent on the board. The session's just started. Green flag we got about a couple seconds ago. So, now let's go to the chat. We have a little bit of a break in adjustment as we have a little bit of downtime. Does anyone want to say hi in the chat? Now is your chance. And I would also say, who do you think is going through into the top 10 in qualifying 2? We have a ton of chances, a ton of great drivers going through, and 15 of the absolute quickest right now in the relationship going all for it. Who can get into qualifying 3? Who can get knocked out? Who's going to get on those mediums? Who's going to get on those softs? We'll have to figure that one out in about 13 and I guess roughly 14 minutes time. The first one going through is going to be Bailey 29 in the Alpha Tauri. We're actually going to get that up. There we go. And his teammate behind him, Crispy, in the Alpha Tauri as well. Behind them is going to be one of the McLarens. I believe it's going to be UnsightedPort, ahead of the Mercedes of John. Behind him is going to be the other McLaren. I believe that is going to be Taylor. Then you have Zachthebeast in the Red Bull ahead. I believe actually on the Alpines they may have a little bit of kerfuffle going on in that. Well, I'm not exactly sure what's going on down there. We'll look through as we have drivers starting their flying lap. Brian was already invalidated. Not sure exactly what happened there a second ago, but let's have some fun. Potential rain. The radars say a 50% chance of rain in the next 10 minutes time. This could be why some of these drivers are all going out trying to jockey for that track position now. It could be a race against the weather, a race against Mother Nature, and a race against themselves. So the track may not be rubbered in about 10 minutes time. Actually, it could be a long time though, but we never know. When will those first drops still hit? It's 50% chance of rain. There's still a lot of time for that rain to come. And if it even comes at all, that's going to be one major implication. We have to figure that one out in about 10 minutes time, because it should be around when it drops, 50% chance. 12 minutes, that leaves about 2 minutes of about rain weather. If it does rain, no one is going to be on the track because everyone's out now. So that would be pointless in running unless you want to have a little bit of fun on those intermediate tires. Well, Muniko and Zachthebeast both on the medium. Same with Taylor and UnsightedPort. And Luciano and Deer Hunter. All of those 3 teams, those 6 drivers, are on those C4 mediums. Jared and the rest of the grid is on those C5 softs. Well, the fastest lap right now at 9.8, 9.4. Crispy goes even faster. We're on board with Zachthebeast through the hairpin. Turn 10. Want to see what the Red Bull can do. Remember, he topped last session. Now he's on the mediums. Can he top it again? That's going to be major implications if he can. And this shows how much pace that Red Bull has. The next one up the line is going to be one of the McLarens. John splits the 2. Alpha Tauris 9.6. Port 10.4. Freudenut 10.5. Port splits the 2. Actually, Freudenut and Bailey. Zachthebeast pits. Muniko's going on an out lap and a flying lap right now as well, going through turn now into 9 and going into 10 in a couple seconds time. Phantom 11.2. Deer Hunter and 9.9 on the mediums. Quick lap there from the Mercedes, now topping the medium runners' times. Muniko is going through 11, now into 12 in a couple seconds time. As he goes a little bit through the grass, how much will that dampen his time down the front straightaway? Yellow flag down in turn 1 and 2. That's going to have a little bit of yellow flags. No, once again, there's no one there, so nothing happens there. Muniko, he's going to go through the final chicane. Is he going to do anything with it? No, he's good. Going through. Now up to the line, the medium tires, the best right now is going to be a 9.9. That's now a 10.3 from the Red Bull Muniko. Puts them splitting between the 2 Mercedes-powered cars on the medium tires. Going through now, I actually believe Crispy and Bailey are now pitting. UnsightedPort is going through another lap. Is the Alpine driver on another lap? I don't think so. One driver who may be on a flying lap is going to be Cookie, who's actually a little bit in front of him in the Ferrari here. Ross Cookie going into turn 13. Will he continue his lap where we go in the pit lane? He's going to continue a little bit deep through the first part of the corner, and he's going to go a little bit tap of the wall on the exit of the wall of champions. But now into the line. Can he get anywhere in this Ferrari? He stays there. Looks like he may have been invalidated. Jared is going to be on that lap. Zachthebeast, Taylor Clan both pitting. Moo, the other Ferrari, the championship leader, has just been invalidated at turn 9. XF1, the Haas, right now, if he can get a good lap in and the rain comes his way, he could be an impression for a possible Q3 appearance. He did it at Monaco a couple weeks ago. Unfortunately, he couldn't do it a week ago at Baku, getting eliminated in Q1, I believe. But this could be an opportunity with the weather having its fare and the Haas on the soft compounded tire, because remember, it's still about 5/10, maybe around that delta gap between the softs and the mediums. We could have a possible F1 appearance in qualifying 3. Figure that out. A lot of yellow flags around the track and that is a yellow flag at both sectors 1, 2, and 3. 1 with the Alpine, the Aston Martin, and the McLaren, and sector 2 and 3 with both Mercedes drivers. Bailey retires in the pit lane. He believes that's all. Rain is there. We have rain now on the circuit, and that is going to hurt a lot of these guys who haven't set a lap yet. Zach the Beast, Taylor Clan, Moo, Axe, Jared, they haven't set laps. Guys like Phantom, Cookie, Ferrari Nut, UnsightedPort, Muniko, Luciano, both Mercedes, and both AlphaTauris, they may be safe. Well, that has completely torn everything around. Because we may not even see a Red Bull into qualifying 2 and into qualifying 3. That's going to be huge if Zach the Beast cannot make it through, but he should have that pace. It depends how much it rains on his flying lap. You see Axe kind of sliding around already. It's kind of slippery. The track's already getting a little bit dicey. You see behind him the McLaren. Is that going to be a Taylor Clan or is that going to be UnsightedPort? Regardless, they're pushing pretty hard. It is Taylor Clan. Remember, he needs to get his lap going too, but Axe is on a flying lap. So how will these two play it out? John retires to the pit lane. I believe that is Jared up to P7. In the Alpine, now they leave Zach the Beast, Taylor Clan both on outlaps, Moo and Axe on flyers. Well, how will Taylor Clan do his flying lap? Moo and Axe F1 going to the line in a few seconds time. Moo, he goes 11th at 10-8. Axe goes 13th, 12-2. Now these two are going to start their flying laps in a couple seconds time. Taylor starts his flying lap. Zach the Beast in the Red Bull is going to start his flying lap in a couple seconds time. So we have a huge implication on qualifying 2. This could be from turning into the favors of Red Bull, like I said in qualifying 1. Could Zach the Beast top the tables, the timing screens once again, like he did his teammate did a week ago. It was Q1, Q2, Q3, but he didn't win the race. Could Zach do it? Q1, Q2, Q3. Well, right now, it's already spraying no. Invalidated right now, but he's going to start his flying lap in 2 seconds time. Boss Cookie retires in the pit lane. He thinks he's safe at 10-7. I don't know about that. His teammate Moo could still go on for a fly lap. Remember, Charles Leclerc at Brazil 2018, he got a faster lap in the rain. Is it too much wet? Is the rain coming down too hard? We'll have to see. John retires in the pit lane. Bailey retires in the pit lane. Crispy's in the pit lane and retired as well. Bosky, and once again, these two, Zach the Beast and Taylor Clan, they're on those softs. Intermediate tires put on for the Aston Martin there for Phantom. Ports retired to the pit lane. He believes it's all done and dusted. 8th position. It's going to be the highest he can get. Remember, he's on those mediums, so if it rains in the race, none of this means anything. If it's dry, he'll start on those medium C4 compounded tire. See, Zach the Beast almost losing the car going through turn 9. Taylor Clan is going to be the first one up. Going into turn 13 in a few seconds time. How much water's on the track? Major aquaplaning and really slow through the Wall of Champions chicane. That's going to completely detrimentally kill his lap, just lack for better words, a 30.2, which means Zach the Beast is going to be completely out of qualifying here. He's going to have a worse track than Taylor Clan did into this final chicane, and he's going to straight up go into the pit lane. He's not even going to risk that. So, with the rain coming down, strategies have completely changed. Jared's retired. That means Deer Hunter and Luciano Muniko may be the ones in the qualifying 3 on those mediums along with UnsightedPort. Everyone else on the softs, you see Axe F1 retired in the pit lane. Ferrari Nut still there. Moo, Phantom, Taylor Clan is out on the track still once again. He's trying to get back into the pit lane. As Zach the Beast retired to the pit lane, he's going to start P15 in the Grand Prix. A Red Bull starting from 15th. He won a week ago. Taylor almost, actually he does hit the wall that time. You see, look at the track, how wet it is now. And, well, it definitely changed a few moments ago. It was definitely not like this. Luciano, both Aston Martins put on those intermediate tires. Will they put a little bit of time into trying to see what the weather feels like out on the track right now? And, well, you see DRS disabled. That pretty much proves the track's wetness. And, well, that's pretty much qualifying done for a lot of these guys. Everyone except for Deer Hunter, Luciano, Phantom, as Moo now retires in the pit lane, and Taylor Clan. You see Phantom now going out on the track. Taylor Clan dives into the pit lane at max velocity, and no regards to human life there. Well, we'll have a few moments to look and see what the Aston Martin can do. He's on those intermediates to give us a little bit of show, because of 5 minutes left in qualifying 2, I believe no one else will go on the track. He's Taylor Clan retires in the pit lane. So, his teammate Luciano will also be on those intermediates. Is this a little bit of practice run? Is it going to be forecasted to rain in the race? If it is, it's going to be huge for, well, that Aston Martin team to gather that data. Because right now they have, I believe, the only 2 teams out there on those intermediate tires. The only other driver who is out, actually now Luciano has pitted. Oh, no, he's retired on the track, actually. So that is that's a big no-no as well. I believe that may be a Stewart's inquiry if it is submitted at a later period of time. Deer Hunter's put on the intermediate, so it's just Phantom and Deer Hunter kind of just chilling on the intermediate tires, trying to gather that data if they need it for the Grand Prix in a few moments' time. Qualifying 3, will it be raining? Will it be dry? We'll have to see in about 5 minutes or so. Phantom actually will just dive back into the nature of the pit lane, and well, that one little, I guess, exponential lap is going to come to an end for the the Aston Martin as he retires in the pit lane. So it's just Deer Hunter in the Mercedes. We're waiting on if he does come out, which I believe we see. There he goes, going down the bottom of the screen now, going up to, I guess, towards the middle right, if you could say. But so going through the qualifying order: Crispy, John Bailey, Deer Hunter, Luciano, Muniko, Jared, Port, Ferrari Nut, Boscookie. All the drivers will start in the top 10 of the race in a few moments' time. 5 minutes, actually 4 minutes now to be exact, to go left in qualifying 2. We have Moo ahead of Phantom, ahead of Axe, ahead of Taylor Clan, and Zach the Beast. A lot of, like I said, we could have some shock drivers out of qualifying 2. Well, little did we know the forecast was going to call for this and have a little bit of fun itself. Well, the championship leader, Moo is going to be out of qualifying 2. Zach the Beast, who won a week ago, is going to be out of qualifying 2. And Taylor Clan, who once again had a pretty solid race a week ago in the McLaren, is out of qualifying 2 as well. So that's been a pretty big story so far through qualifying 2 at Montreal. If you're just now joining us, welcome to the Breakout Racing League Realistic tier here in Montreal for the Circuit de Villeneuve for round 7 of the Breakout Racing League Realistic Championship. And qualifying 1 was all dry. We had a couple drivers out. It was Ron Swanson. It was Kieran Evans. It was DXC Ishigo. It was Valkyrie 420. And Supply Raptor was disqualified from the session. Those 5 drivers out of qualifying 1. Out of qualifying 2 will be Moo, BRL Phantom, XF1, Taylor Clan, and Zach the Beast, due to it raining. It started out pretty dry, and the rain forecast had 10 minutes to go until a 50% chance of rain. It was not even going to be guaranteed. Well, now it was, as Deer Hunter comes his little exponential lap and goes back into the pit lane. So qualifying 2 has actually been cut short, as no one wanted to venture out on those intermediate tires. We had a buffer of about 3.5 minutes, so a little ahead of schedule. Congratulations, guys. That's the first time I've actually seen it so far this season. Well, it wasn't the man who I thought it was going to be topping the timing sheets, but it's still going to be a Honda power card regardless. Crispy ahead of John, ahead of Bailey, ahead of Deer Hunter, Luciano, Muniko. All will start on the medium C4 compounded tire. Ahead of Jared, UnsightedPort on those mediums as well. Ferrari Nut and Boscookie rounds out your top 10. They have to start on those tires if it doesn't rain. Moo, Phantom, Axe1, Taylor Clan, and Zach the Beast all could not get a time in. And a good enough time in before it started coming down on the track, the rain persisting here in the St. Lawrence River, and I guess Montreal saying, yeah, not anymore. Well, I was wondering if it was going to rain. It looks like it has definitely persisted and carried over from qualifying 2 to qualifying 3. But will it get harder? Will it get softer? Will it stay the same throughout the session in qualifying 3? We'll have to figure out in about 11 minutes and 30 seconds time. You see Muniko, the sole Red Bull, out. There he goes out of the garage in a few seconds time. Bailey in the Alpha Tauri going to be out. You see one of the Mercedes going out. You see UnsightedPort and the McLaren going out. You see one of the Ferraris going out. Both Alpines going out in sequence. You see the Aston Martin going out, and Luciano. So it's going to be the first one to go out on track. It's going to be Bailey in the Alpha Tauri, ahead of Muniko in the Red Bull, behind him being the Ferrari of Boscookie, the sole one, going through and flying the flag for the Scuderia. Then you have the Mercedes of John, ahead of both Alpines, Ferrari Nut ahead of his teammate Jared. By the way, still looking for the top 10 position for Ferrari Nut. He got a P3 a couple weeks ago in Monaco. He's now P11 in the championship, 23 points to his name, 2 points back from his teammate DRC Jared, who has 25 after that win at Monaco. Both those guys want to look and get into the top 10. Yellow flag. We could have a driver around. Is that UnsightedPort? No, it's not. It's actually going to be one of the Alpha Tauris. It looks like it may have. Actually, no, it's a Ferrari. This Boscookie round, you saw him on the end of your screen. What has happened there? Does he have any damage? Looks like he's invalidated his lap, but obviously it doesn't really matter too much since he's not going to get a time for this lap regardless. Well, it's going to be, I already said at the beginning of this stream, it was going to be an interesting race and one to really look out for. Well, so far it's definitely shown that is definitely the case. You see Boscookie may have actually hit the wall there and may be diving into the pit lane in a few moments' time. But if you're in the qualifying session and you're not taking part, or if you're just in the chat having a little bit of fun tuning in to the Breakout Racing League stream, welcome. And I have a question for you. Who do you think's getting pole position in these tricky conditions in Montreal here? I mean, you see the river, the St. Lawrence River to be exact, is to your left of Boss Cookie. You see Crispy weaving on the straightaway, getting some temperatures into that intermediate compound attire. Who do you think will be on pole? Who do you think will be in the top 10? What positions do you think will be shocking? Do you think Bailey will grab a shock pole, Crispy shock pole? We have another shock pole like we did at Monte Carlo, where we had a driver taking a 5-place grid penalty, that one being Moo. And, well, obviously he's not in the qualifying session. He was out of qualifying 2 in the Ferrari. We have a prediction for Bailey. We have a prediction for Muniko. We have a prediction for Port. We'll see who plays out and who gets that tallest order. Remember, UnsightedPort has 2 wins. That is actually last 4 races. We've had 4 different Grand Prix winners. We had one in Zachthebeast a week ago. In Azerbaijan, we had Monaco with DRC Jared. We have ahead of that was Spain. That was from Moomoo. And before Spain, well, was Portugal. And Portimao, and that was UnsightedPort, where he copped off one of his 2 victories so far this season, the other one coming at China the race prior. Well, UnsightedPort's the only double-time winner in this. Actually, I believe he's the only winner. No, Jared is in here. I'm sorry. Him and Jared are the only 2 Grand Prix winners this season in this session. And UnsightedPort, I believe, is the only one in this session other than Muniko and Deer Hunter who's gotten a pole. So it could be one of those guys. John 23.6 for the Mercedes. That's provisional pole. That's the time they all have to go after. McLaren after him. Port goes about 4 seconds faster, 19.6. Unsighted timing shots. Here comes the AlphaTauri. He invalidated. That's going to be Crispy. Is Boss Cookie going to do anything for these guys in front? Yes, he does. A 19.5, a tenth faster than the McLaren. Excuse me, the McLaren in front of him. Well, that's going to be a little bit of a wait until the next driver coming across. That'll be Deer Hunter, who's going to start his flying lap in a few moments' time. Well, let's go look at the Red Bull Muniko, the home Canadian. We'll see what he can do in the circuit show of Villeneuve. Crispy's out. That's in the entry of turn 6 and 7. So the AlphaTauri will start P10 on the grid in about 8 or so minutes time, as you see the Sector 2 timing screen is blocking the remaining time in the session. We'll see what Muniko can do in his lap. He's going up to turn 13 and 14 in a few seconds time. Double lock up the fronts, but still gets the car rotated in. He's going to try to go to the line with max velocity, max speed, max pace in that Honda. Well, the Honda's usually normally good in the rain, and it is a 17.9. That Red Bull, actually the White Bull, if you may, has gotten a purple sector, I believe, 3, as well as the purple sector lap in the 17.9, about 6 tenths quicker than the Ferrari Boss Cookie ahead of him, and UnsightedPort is about a tenth behind Cookie in the McLaren. Oh, wow, that's pretty close between those 2 drivers there. Luciano is going to be going out in a flying lap. He's now started his. Deer Hunter's going up through turn 11, now into turn 12 in a few moments' time. UnsightedPort's pitting. We'll see what these guys can do. Jared's going to be approaching the line in about half a lap time. Bailey's now out on the track. He's going to see what he can do in the other AlphaTauri. His teammate Crispy retired in, actually I believe he crashed out in the entry of turn 6. We see Deer Hunter. He's normally kind of okay in the wet. He favors these kind of interesting conditions. Let's see what the Mercedes driver can do. He goes to P2, 19.3. About 4 tenths adrift of the Red Bull and Muniko. We'll see what that Mercedes-powered driver can do in the Grand Prix and the rest of this the rest of this session. 6 minutes left, a little bit under 30 seconds to go in qualifying 3 for this shootout for pole. Bailey starts his flying lap. Next one across the line will be Muniko. Is he on another flying lap? No, he's not. He dives into the nature of the pit lane. The next driver that will be coming towards the nature of the pit lane or the nature of the start-finish line will be the other Mercedes in P5 right now, John 19.9. He's 3 tenths off of UnsightedPort. He found a little bit of time from his first flying lap. Can he find any more time? Can he pass UnsightedPort? Can he go by his teammate? No, he can't. 19.8. He's found a little bit more time, though. Luciano's going to be behind him in the Aston Martin. He's going up. John gets actually overtaken by DRC Jared. 19.7 for the Alpine. Luciano, he's P7. He's now P3, 19.4. That's about a tenth adrift of the Mercedes of Deer Hunter. Bailey will be the next one to cross the line after the Mercedes, I believe, of Deer Hunter, actually. Let's go look right on board with the AlphaTauri. Purple Sector 2. Is that correct? If it is, that AlphaTauri is flying right now. Can we see a Honda 1-2? well, it's not the Honda 1-2 that we expected, but it's definitely been a 1-2 regardless. We'll see what Bailey can do as he goes through down this main straightaway, in the longest straightaway of the circuit, going down in the turn 13 and 14, the chicane, and which holds the Wall of Champions. Will we see anyone hitting that Wall of Champions so far? We have seen a couple, but no one too detrimental to their session. No retirements, no front wing damage. Bailey goes P2. Like I said, it was possible, an 18.9, and I just realized, by the way, it wasn't 4/10, it was 1.4 seconds between Muniko and Deer Hunter. I didn't, I needed to get better glasses. I guess my eyes are pretty bad. Well, that's pretty much a really safe lap right now. Bailey now in 18.9, and still about a second adrift of the Red Bull Muniko. Deer Hunter 19.0, Luciano 19.4, Boskuki 19.5. Muniko is actually going to be out of the pit lane in a few seconds' time. UnsightedPort, he's now going to start another flying lap, 19.6 and P6 right now. He wants to try and go and improve his position ahead of the Ferrari, at least a Boskuki, because they're pretty much having a little bit of a rivalry, those two, the McLaren and the Ferrari. In real life, they're pretty much neck and neck. We'll see how they are in the game right now. The McLaren leading the championship, and UnsightedPort trying to close up, I believe, on, let's see what the gap is. I believe, I'm mistaken, maybe 18. Yes, it is 18 points. 57 is Zachthebeast. He's not in qualifying 3. 76 is UnsightedPort. 94 is MooMoo is not in qualifying 3 as well. So UnsightedPort can grab some really good points depending on where he finishes in the race in about 3 minutes and 50 seconds time. We'll see what the McLaren can do. Purple Sector 1 apparently briefly goes away. It could be false. We never know. And see as he crosses the start-finish line in about half a lap time. Well, we'll see what these guys do. As you see the Alpine of Ferrari actually going through the final chicane. And I'm sorry, the final chicane, the hairpin in a few seconds time. And Purple Sector 2, we could have a flyer from the McLaren of UnsightedPort here. Could he grab provisional pole? That's kind of a shocker, but he's done it before. It wouldn't be that much of a shocker, especially in the rain-soaked conditions. Remember, he won Portimao in these similar conditions after it turned from dry to wet in a very short amount of time. You see Ferrari not now on the Alpine going up to the start-finish line in a few seconds time. Can he go in front of his teammate? No, he can't. 20.02 tenths adrift of TTM John and the Mercedes. Muniko is going to start his flying lap in a few seconds time. UnsightedPort, he goes P2 at 18.9. It beats Bailey by about 85 milliseconds. That's going to be the gap between UnsightedPort and Bailey, 29. You see Luciano getting out of the way of Muniko and the Red Bull. If he can get a better lap, remember, he's already about a second ahead of everyone here. If he can grab a better lap, that'll be absolutely dominant from the White Bull, as it may, at his home streets in Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Quebec. We'll see how he plays out right now, going through Purple Sector 1 once again. Yellow flag, drivers getting out of the way and trying to sort out their track position. There's 2 minutes and 22 seconds left on the shots here in Montreal and for the Canadian Grand Prix qualifying for the Realistic Championship and the Breakout Racing League Season 7 campaign, Season 3 of the Realistic Championship. Right now, Muniko, he's on a flyer, another Purple Sector 2 this time. Has he gone too deep in the chicane? No, he has not. The hairpin, going into turn 11. This is tricky for traction going now into the long straight. No DRS. There would be DRS here right now as you go through on the dry conditions, but no DRS here in the wet. Could we have a second straight pole position from the Red Bull driver? He got pole a week ago. It would be even special for him to have pole in his home Grand Prix. He said his second home Grand Prix was a week ago in Baku. Well, now he has pole again, a 17.5. That's gone even faster, about 4 tenths. By the way, Boskuki's going up an 18.5, still a second off now of Muniko and the Red Bull. So now Muniko goes up provisional pole even farther ahead of Boskuki, UnsightedPort, Bailey, and the rest of the challengers. UnsightedPort is going to go into the line in the McLaren. Can he improve? He cannot improve his position. He still has 1 minute, 17 seconds left. Bailey retires the pit lane. That's as best as he can go in the Alpha Tauri. We'll see what he can do. Starting from the race. Will he start from P4? We'll have to figure it out. Deer Hunter, he's not that far behind Bailey. Can he have a better lap in the Mercedes? Luciano, 19.4. Can he go up and grab 5 tenths of a second? Jared, 19.7. Can he grab that time? TTM John is out of place right now in P8 and 19.8. Can he go and try to match his teammate? 19.0, who's trying to push for this lap to get ahead of Bailey in P4. Well, we'll have to see how that plays out in about 40 seconds time as the checker flag's about to fly in a few seconds time. Jared goes up to 18.7. He does find that time. Bailey now to P5. The next driver going up is going to be the other Alpine. Ferrari Nut in the other Alpine. We'll see what he can do. He's invalidated. Behind him is going to be TTM John. He's going to start his flying lap now. Behind him is going to be Muniko. Can he improve? No, he's invalidated this time, but he still has 20 seconds to improve his time. Looks like he's not going to. Backs out in turn 1. That is going to be now, I believe, the Ferrari of Boss Cookie. He's going to go on another flying lap. Behind him, Deer Hunter. Boss Cookie barely makes the flag. Deer Hunter goes P3 and 18.7. He goes ahead of Jared. Bailey now starts P6. Behind them, looks like Luciano's going to start his flying lap. The next driver to cross the line will be DRC Jared, but now it's going to be down to these two. Boss Cookie almost crashes. That was actually front wing damage from some of the drivers. Who is that? UnsightedPort's out. He retires, I believe, on track. Checker flag's out. And it's time for the drivers to see where they qualify. Muniko right now, provisional pole. That is actually is that the Mercedes of, no, it's not. It's the Mercedes of John's not going to be out of qualifying. P8 is going to be his maximum. The next driver going up to the line, maybe Ferrari Nut. Actually not. He's crashed right now at turn 9. He has no front wing, and he's invalidated. The next driver going up, going to the start-finish line will be DRC Jared and the other Alpine. He's valid. He wants this chance at a new provisional pole. Can he grab it ahead of Muniko? He goes P2 at 18.5 ahead of Boss Cookie. How does Boss Cookie retaliate? How does he grab it? Boss Cookie has purple sector 2. Is this correct? Oh! Hard to the wall goes Boss Cookie there. Almost collects Deer Hunter behind him. Can Muniko? No, he doesn't. He pits. Muniko is going to have to stay with that 17.5. Hopefully he's happy with that because he heck, it looked like it in the chat. Let's see here. Jared now across the line, 18.5. Look at Deer Hunter squirming out of the final chicane. Can he grab anything on Boss Cookie? No, he cannot. He starts P4. Cookie starts P3. UnsightedPort ahead of Bailey, 5th and 6th. Luciano, he's just going to go straight on into the pit lane. John has no front wing. And, oh, that's out. It was Ferrari Nut. That's a hard hit. Looks like from the Alpine driver, he will start P9 on the grid. So that's going to be it for qualifying 3. The shootout's over. And we're now waiting for Luciano to get rolled back into the garage. Same with, I believe, actually, no, we're just him. And that's going to be it for qualifying here in Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Quebec. And the Canadian Grand Prix is set to be underway in about a minute time at the latest, but is now being set. And it's once again led by a Canadian, like he did a week ago. Muniko grabs pole position at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal ahead of DRC Jared. The last time Jared started in the front row, well, he won the race. We'll see if he can do it again. Boss Cookie. He started P3. We'll see if he can do it now from there in the Ferrari. He's been 2 Grand Prix adrift. He wants to get some redemption. Grab a podium, grab some points. Deer Hunter P4, UnsightedPort P5, Bailey P6, Luciano P7, ahead of TTM John out of place in the Mercedes in P8. Ferrari Nut P9, and Crispy did not set a time in P10. It's looking to be a great race so far in Montreal. The clouds have seemed to pass from about a day ago in game time and about 5 minutes ago in real time. Welcome along to round 7 of the Breakout Racing League Realistic Championship here in Montreal and Canada for the Canadian Grand Prix for the round 7 of the Realistic Breakout Racing League Championship. I said that a second ago. It's fun to reiterate it. Well, let's going to see how these drivers recuperate. Let's go look at the grid as a great qualifying session and very hectic happened a minute ago. Muniko, the Canadian, he starts from P1 alongside DRC Jared. And I said it a second ago. I'll say it again. Last time Jared started from the front row of the grid, he won the race. Well, it's not like Monaco this time in Montreal. Boss Cookie from 3rd. Deer Hunter 4th, UnsightedPort 5th, ahead of Bailey in 6th. Those two are going to share the row. Luciano ahead of John 7th and 8th. And row 5 is going to be Crispy and Ferrari Nut in 9th and 10th. Canadians of Boomoo and Phantom 11th and 12th. Axe ahead of Taylor, ahead of Zachthebeast, out of place in the Red Bull in 15th. Ron Swanson ahead of Kieran Evans, ahead of DXC Ishigo, Valkyrie, and Supply Raptor rounds out the grid. And a lot of guys have choosing those mediums outside the top 10 from Moomoo at 11th. From Axe Taylor, we have Ron Swanson, Kieran Evans, Supply Raptor in 12th. In 20th. Valkyrie's chosen the hards. DXC Ishigo, the softs. Phantom has gone the soft as well, as we now go to the formation lap here at the Canadian Grand Prix, and it's going to be a fun one. 14 corners, 20 different drivers, and 3 DRS zones, 35 laps, and it's going to be a predicted 2-stop. Is it going to be a 2-stop versus is it going to be a 1-stop? These drivers have to now choose their strategy. Is it going to be a medium, soft, soft, medium, soft, medium, soft? Is it going to be even? The hell with the 2-stop. What if we do a 1-stop? Soft, medium, soft, hard. What are these guys going to do? I'm predicting, well, other than right now Valkyrie, I believe, on P19 with the hard compounded tire, everyone is going to choose those softs or those mediums, the C5 or the C4. We have the C4, C5, and C3 tires, the softest range of the Pirelli's arsenal for this Grand Prix, the Canadian Grand Prix, and we have to use 2 of those 3 sets. For example, Muniko cannot pit for another set of mediums. He has to pit for softs or hard, and Jared has to do the same thing. He cannot pit for softs. He has to pit for medium or hard. We'll see how these drivers play it out strategy-wise. Muniko, he wants redemption from a week ago. He was oh so close. Just couldn't grab it. His teammate Zachthebeast did. Well, Muniko wants to win in front of his home fans, even more bad, I guess, even more than he did a week ago in Baku, when he just wanted to win in Baku in his favorite track. DRC Jared, like I said many times, this is now his second front-run start this season. He wants to make it 2 out of 2 on the podium. Cookie, once again, he's back. He wants to find some points. He's been 2 races away due to personal and, I believe, schooling and education-wise. For those kind of reasons, we'll see what he can do today in the Ferrari. It's a good chance. A lot of downforce is needed here at Montreal. Deer Hunter ahead of UnsightedPort. Bailey, Luciano, TTM, John, his first race for Mercedes. He was not here a week ago. Ferrari Nut, Crispy, 9th and 10th respectively. Those guys have to start on those tires they qualified through into qualifying 2. Softs for everyone except for Luciano, UnsightedPort, Deer Hunter, and Muniko. Moo, first one outside the top 10. He got free tire choice. He chose the medium. Phantom, the soft. Axe, Taylor, medium. Zachthebeast out of position in 15th, has chosen the soft. Ron, Kieran, both 16th, 17th, medium. DXC Ishigo in the Alfa Romeo, soft. Valkyrie, hard compounded tire. And Supply Raptor, who a week ago was in the Mercedes, had a chance to go take the win away from Zachthebeast, is now subbing in for the Williams driver of, I believe, KP21. Or Dom the Noodle, I'm not exactly sure. But he pulls up in his 20th grid spot. We now look from 20th to 1st. The lights are about to be on in a few seconds' time. And it's lights out, and away we go, and a really good start from DFC Jared. He's already alongside the Red Bull, going into turn 1. DFC Jared around the outside. Muniko's going to get his elbows out. He's going to stay there. The Alpine's still going to go for the right-hand side. Now into turn 2. Exit of turn 2. The Red Bull's going to get ahead. Only a drift. And now he's going to stay ahead into turn 3. Muniko ahead of Jared, ahead of Boss Cookie. Deer Hunter. Now it's going wide. Bailey into turn 5. He's actually ahead of UnsightedPort. John ahead of Luciano. Crispy, Moo, Ferrari Nut, Phantom, Axe, Taylor. Zachthebeast didn't move. DXC Ishigo, Valkyrie, Kieran Evans, and Supply Raptor. They switch positions, as well as Axe and Taylor battle for 13th. A crazy start, but nice and tame for these guys. Going now still side by side. Taylor and Axe. The McLaren ahead of the Haas car, and they will even that one out before they get into turn 8 and 9. Drivers already getting a little bit of warnings, get a little bit of track extensions. You only have 3 warnings before you get a time penalty. Keep in mind with that, going in the chicane and the hairpin. This is going to be the best chance for any overtaking. You see up there, that is Aston Martin Luciano, side-by-side, wheel-to-wheel with UnsightedPort. Port gets the better exit through 10 into 11, and he's going to go up into P7 for UnsightedPort. Axe and Taylor, they're not done. They're still fighting, but don't look now. That is an Alpha Tauri and a Mercedes side-by-side, wheel-to-wheel down into turn 13, and Bailey's going to back out of it. Deer Hunter's going to stay 4th, and Boss Cookie and Jared are going to try to go and chase after the Red Bull of Muniko. He's actually the fastest lap, 17.3, 9/10, almost a second. He's now actually 1.1 almost ahead. Taylor now Zach ahead of Axe. Zach follows suit with Taylor and goes up to P14. Oh! Okay, never mind. On my end, it looks like Cookie has crashed out, but nope. Just a little bit of lag, so a little bit of fun there, and I'm sorry, I apologize if you got a little startled, because I definitely got a little bit excited there. Well, look at this. Bailey's now in a sandwich from 2 Mercedes now. John behind his teammate Deer Hunter, but not before that Alpha Tauri separates the 2. We'll see what these guys can do. DRS is not enabled until next time by. Phantom, the 3-second time penalty. I said keep out for those penalties. Well, he's the first one and default victim of the Montreal track limits. That's very strict here, but it's doable to get it without it. And actually, Luciano, it's a big scrap. Look at this going down in the back of the. Look at what's going on here. Luciano's lost the position to Port. He's lost the position to Moo. Look at Crispy. He wants a piece of this. Moo is now going to be under pressure from Luciano, but here comes Crispy. They're going to go 3 wide. No, they're not. Luciano's going to back out of that, and that's going to be down into the pit lane. Contact between Moo and I believe that was Ferrari Nut behind him. Look at this now. Luciano's going to go to the left-hand side, the right-hand side. I'm sorry. He's going to run the outside. Look at the Alpine down the inside, almost looking for that move. And looks like Luciano going to be ahead. Now trying to fight with Moo. Luciano's going to give it a worse exit for Moo. He's going to stay ahead of P8. Luciano P9. That's going to be Ferrari Nut in P10. But look at this. Zachthebeast up to 11th. Past Phantom Axe Taylor. What happened from that? It looks like UnsightedPort and Ron Swanson has some damage, and they pitted already. Valkyrie's out of the Grand Prix. Is that a safety car? Virtual safety car. Take on board with, yeah, there he is. Valkyrie crashed out in the exit of turn 4 and before turn 5 where we saw Kieran Evans crash and qualifying 1. Now he's going to be out of the Grand Prix. Valkyrie, unfortunately, has only been 2 laps on the board for the Haas, and his race is done. UnsightedPort chosen the hard C3s after his pit stop. Ron Swanson, the C5s. Muniko is going to be 2.1 seconds clear. He's gotten a good gap over DSC Jared, who has Boss Cookie about 7/10 back. Deer Hunter about 1.4 back ahead of Bailey and his teammate John. Taylor gets ahead of DXD Ishigo. Yellow flag. That actually looks like the Haas is still being cleaned up down in turn 4. Late on the brakes is John trying to find a way past Bailey, but he cannot, and has to get a little bit too much on the brakes and almost risk running into the back of that AlphaTauri going into turn 1 there. The battle, though, is all behind this man. Crispy in 7th, Moo in 8th, Luciano 9th, Ferrari Nut ahead of Zachthebeast, 10th and 11th, Phantom 1.1 back, but he has Axe and Taylor Clan to keep him company, as well as DXD Ishigo and Supply Raptor. Raptor up 4 positions from the start. He started P20. Remember that Williams could be up there. Let's see how he plays out through. He's in the Mercedes a week ago. This may be a little bit of a learning curve to see how the Williams can do. Zach ahead and actually passed the Alpine of Ferrari Nut. What happened there? Oh, it's Phantom going around the outside. Was that damage to the Alpine? Yes, it is. He has no front wing. Where did that come from? Look at Taylor Clan. He's going to go forward for this move. He has to be patient here. As Ferrari Nut backing out of that move. Was it caused by Zachthebeast? Was it caused by the Alpine Ferrari Nut himself? We'll have to figure it out in a few moments' time, maybe towards the end of the Grand Prix itself, or if a steward's inquiry is being posted. Remember, DRS is active this time. Axe has it, but look how much Taylor has it, too. That Mercedes power way ahead of that Ferrari power. John gets past Bailey. Phantom's now going to be under pressure from DRS going down into turn 1 from Taylor Clan. He has the same engine in the back of that car. Mercedes and the Aston Martin, Mercedes and the McLaren. Well, you see Ferrari Nut's now going to the pits. Zachthebeast, 12.4, fastest lap at the Grand Prix so far. It's been 5 laps, and it's been very hectic so far indeed. John's been released to go chase after his teammate Deer Hunter, who's on those medium tires, by the way. Same with Muniko. Could we see these guys stretch it long and do a one-stop? They have that VSC to help out their tire wear a bit. It's possible. Behind them, Bailey is just kind of keeping on with that DRS. You see blinking from the car in front. That's Deer Hunter. Excuse me. He has used up to, I believe, 20, now down to 20%. Now he's at 6%. Look at that. Excuse me. For the Mercedes here, and he's already going to be out of electrical deployment, and it's already lap 5. So he's going to be a struggle for the rest of the Grand Prix using that electrical deployment, which will give you an extra 100 brake horsepower. I cannot seem to get that lump out of my throat. Well, that extra 100 brake horsepower will be really helpful right now. Look at his teammates looking for this move. It's just too far back. Deer Hunter's going to go defensive into 13 and 14, but look at this again. He's going to go back of him. John, Deer Hunter, the 2 Mercedes squabble in the first time they get to meet on track, and it's going to be John ahead of Deer Hunter. The softs prevail over the mediums. Supply Raptor, 3-second time penalty. That will be applied to the end of his race time for multiple warnings and track extensions. Keep in mind how that penalty will actually play for his race. Penalties itself will be a huge play for Taylor's down a couple positions. Has he spun around? Looks like yellow flag. What has gone on with the McLaren down here? Taylor Clan, looks like he has gone off. He's lost positions to Axe, Raptor, DXD Ishigo, and Kieran Evans. He's now down with his team at UnsightedPort, 16th and 17th. But look at this. Taylor looking for a move here. Yellow flag, Sector 1. Is that Ferrari Nut? May just be a yellow flag, to be a yellow flag, I'm guessing. Back up front, though, let's go look at the 2 Mercedes squabbling as they're still next to each other. 7/10, but don't look now. They're now in the battle from Boss Cookie. TTM John has his DRS in front of him. Boss Cookie is not that far in front. Remember, like I said, with earlier with the Haas, and the McLaren, the engine difference, it's going to be huge from Mercedes and the Ferrari. He's gaining on the Ferrari. He's gaining on the Ferrari. John John has the fastest lap. He's just not close enough. Ferrari nut with the fastest lap. Actually, Ferrari nut goes 3-second time penalty. It almost looked like John John was going to go into the back of the Ferrari there. Virtual safety car. What has happened? I saw DXT down a couple positions. Has he lost his front wing? No, he hasn't. What has gone on? Taylor Clan in the pit lane. Oh, Ferrari Nut has lost his front wing once again. That's not going to help the Alpine very much, if any at all, because now he'll be in the pit lane once again to change his front wing. Thankfully for the VSC, he will probably get out before the leaders of Muniko and Muniko and company will come and lap him. Because once you get your lap down here, you cannot get it back under the safety car conditions. You have to go and basically overtake the leader yourself, which may be difficult for that Alpine under the blue flag conditions. That Red Bull, or that White Bull if you rather, looks pretty quick so far. DRS is enabled, and that's going to be perfect for the guys at Boss Cookie. But John John had a better run. It looks like he's going to be too far back, though. Keep in mind, though, how much closer will he be going into turn 1? He was pretty close last time. He was too far back, though. Can he get it this time? Cookie's close to Jared, but look how close John John is to Cookie. He's gaining on the Ferrari. He's not going to gain it on it much longer. Cookie's going to once again try to go defensive to kind of cover off any chance of an overtake down the inside of 1 and around the outside of 2. You see John John once again trying to find any space he can. Deer Hunter about half a second back on the Mercedes teammate of John John, and can he get it done? Look at Boxer get a poor exit. John's going to look for this. No, he's going to back. Boxer actually now has a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings and track extensions that will be applied at the end of his race. That is pretty big and significant for the Ferrari there. Once again, gaining on the Ferrari. He's gaining on the Ferrari. He's going to look for the Ferrari. He's going to stay behind. Yellow flag, the McLaren. That's Taylor Clan. It looks like he may have spun off. And the entry of turn 13. He's actually out of the Grand Prix, but here he goes. John John once again. Will he stay behind the Ferrari? Yes, he will. Boski will go a little bit deep on the brakes to make sure the Mercedes stays behind. But look at this. The Mercedes has a pretty good rotation through turn 10. And he's actually going to go after the Ferrari once again on the exit, but just not going to have it. He's going to be close enough once again. He's not going to break the slipstream. Look how much the Mercedes is gaining on the Ferrari. He's just not going to go for this time by. It's just not an overtaking spot for 2 cars to fit in this tiny chicane right here. But how will it play? Look at that. Cookie, horrible exit through turn 14. And that's going to give John John the opportunity up to P3. And that's exactly what the Mercedes needed. And look at this. Oh, look at this. Cookie tried to go in. That was a late move for there, trying to cover off Deer Hunter, who actually had a huge head of steam going into turn 1, trying to overtake the Ferrari as well. Cookie's off and stays out. Look at that's a save and a half from the Cookie up now into P6 now. He dropped a couple positions. Bailey now up to P5. Axif1 pits from the medium compound in P15, the Haas. What will he go on? Phantom head of Luciano. What's happened to Luciano? He's down a couple of positions, down behind Raptor now. You see now, look at John John. He's now going to be the next one up going against Jared, but 4.2 seconds, the gap between Jared and Muniko on those harder compounds Muniko is compared to Jared and John John. So this is very beneficial for the White Bull as it right to be, I guess, coming out in front about 4.5 seconds and having John John be held up by DRC Jared, not by his own doing, but due to the pace difference between the Alpine and the Mercedes car. You see down the front straightaway, the main straightaway we have in Canada and Circuit, Gilles Villeneuve is not going to be close enough. Oh, he actually goes in the pit lane. John John's going to trigger the undercut. Like we said, it could be a 2-stop versus a 1-stop. What will the Mercedes of John John do? Boski comes in after and covers off the Mercedes of John John there. You see, though, Bailey now has an Alpine, a Ferrari. You see, he's not on the same lap as Bailey there. You see his ghosting nature. He's under the blue flag conditions. Supply Raptor has another 3-second time penalty. That now puts his total up to 6. Raptor's now up to 8th, by the way, in the race so far. Once it gets started, P20. The Williams making some moves and now into the top 10, scoring 4 points as it would end right now. 4.7, the gap between Muniko and Jared. This is going to be huge for Muniko's race, but that undercut is going to be triggered by the Mercedes of TTM John John, meaning he pits earlier, using that fresh rubber and hope to God that there is no traffic in front of you to use that clean air and gain on the car in front of you. But, well, it looks like John John is going to be within some dirty air. So White Raptor, the Williams driver, in front of him. But up front, the other Mercedes driver of Deer Hunter has the Alpine of Jared to keep him company as John John gets past Supplied Raptor going in, I believe, to turn, actually through turn 9 into turn 10. Here comes Jared and Deer Hunter down the inside. The Mercedes will go Jared just goes into the pit lane and gets off those soft compounded tires. So that's going to be another, once again, triggering the undercut. And pit stops may happen pretty soon. Cookie was in. You see now Jared is in. And, well, he's going to go on to the mediums most likely. Yes, he is down there. Boom. Done. Jared's now probably good for the rest of the Grand Prix. We never know. He's going to see if he does that 1 or that 2 stop. It's going to be very interesting to see these guys' strategy. Bailey, he's gone 10 laps on a soft. Same with Crispy, both Alpha Tauris. One of the longest on the tire. DC Ishigo has a 3-second time track extensions. Both Alpha Tauris and both Alfa Romeos are now the only ones left out on the soft compounded tire. DC Ishigo and both Alpha Tauris started on those soft compounded tires. Ron Swanson pitted after a couple of laps in that first virtual safety car onto those softs. So we could see these drivers, these 3, especially Ron Swanson. Oh, Bailey may have actually hit the wall there. If he hit the wall, we saw in Baku and in Monaco, that is a significant loss of time. That's a lot of penalties there. Luciano, I saw Kieran Evans. Ishigo may have gotten one. Phantom, Axe. There's a lot of drivers who've gotten a track warning and track extension warning, which put and transferred over into a penalty. Well, once again, like I said, at Baku, wing damage could be significant. We could see Bailey come to the pits this time, do we? Yes, we do. Flat out into the pit lane, and the Alpha Tauri's in. Will he go on a 1 or a 2 stop? He carried those tires about 2, maybe 3 laps longer than some of the guys, especially over TTM John, who is actually going to trigger a huge undercut on a lot of these guys. And it is a front wing change. That is going to hurt Bailey in the long run with that. Now you see Crispy's going to be the leading soft runner. You see John with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, though, at 20.0. John very fast right now. Let's see what he can do. Now Bosco goes even faster, 11.7. That's quite significant. The 3/10 gap between the Mercedes and the Ferrari pace. But Jared actually comes up behind John. So once again, John made that undercut work. Cookie is behind him. Zach the Beast, though, got the fastest lap from Boss Cookie. Ferrari Knight grabs a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings and track extensions. He's 27 seconds off of Ron Swanson down in 17th. Let's see what Ferrari Knight can do on those mediums and that strategy. Could it work out to grab some positions and grab a chance to go and score some points? Maybe a little late race safety car. You never know. It could happen. We happen a lot. It happened, 5 safety cars or so a week ago in Azerbaijan. It could happen again. UnsightedPort gets back DXD for the battle for 11th. You see the McLaren getting past the Alfa Romeo. Zach the Beast gets past DXD. Ishigo battle for 12th there. You see John, and you see Jared now passing Crispy as he goes and darts into the safety of the pit lane. DXD Ishigo will be the only one out alongside Axe and Ron Swanson on those soft compounded tires, the C5s. Everyone else is on those mediums, except for UnsightedPort in 11th. So Muniko, Deer Hunter, and Moo all have yet to stop. So far, those are the top 3. It looks like Muniko may actually grab a decent, this yellow flag, Sector 1. That is an Aston Martin. Is that Luciano? Not exactly sure. Looks like he saw a slow Aston Martin. There's a lot of drivers behind him. Kieran Evans now leading this train. He's actually in the train of Luciano, so now it's passes the torch to Luciano to lead the train. He's actually out on 12-level mediums along with Kieran Evans. Yellow flag. Is that an Alpine? It may be Ferrari nut. You see UnsightedPort trying to go and catch up to Kieran Evans right there in front of him. Yellow flag. Looks like there's going to be a driver actually going off the track into turn 1. Or actually, no, I believe it's Ron Swanson pitting. But look at this, UnsightedPort and Kieran Evans. Down into the hairpin he goes. UnsightedPort will get ahead of Kieran Evans in the Williams. But look at this. Here comes Zach the Beast behind him. He's going to have a double slipstream in tow. Kieran Evans may not get the DRS here. He's already blinking. Yes, UnsightedPort grabs the DRS. So Zach the Beast will get on the left-hand side. Easily blow past the Williams of Kieran Evans. Now up into the points-paying positions for Zach the Beast. Will he do a 1-stop or a 2-stop? We see late on the brakes was the Red Bull. Look at that, how late on the brakes he was compared to UnsightedPort in front of him. And, well, those two drivers are now going to be chased after Luciano and the Aston Martin as well. Let's go look at the gap to leader. That will be a pretty significant part. 13.9 seconds the gap between first and third. 5.5 or so is the gap between first and second. 18.2 the gap between first and fourth. The pit delta is around 16 seconds. So as it would stand, Muniko would actually jump John by about a second or so. So it's going to be difficult and close. Depends on what these guys do. Does Muniko go for a 1-stop? Does he go for a 2-stop? What does John and Jared do? A lot of these guys will have to play under the strategy, and we'll probably know around lap 22 or so if these guys will go on another set of mediums, or if they'll go on a set of softs by around lap 20, I believe 5, 26, 27, or around that. Supply Raptors out of the Grand Prix. Same with Ferrari, and that's the safety car. As we John into the pits as well, so he's going to take advantage of that chance, which actually may help his race a little bit. Same with Boss Cook. He's actually going to take that chance, go on another set of mediums as well. These guys can go to the end of the Grand Prix. Bailey's going to go in. Luciano, will he go in? Yes, he will. In the Aston Martin. UnsightedPort, will he go in? Yes, he will. Look at these guys all taking that chance. Zach's in. Phantom stays out. Crispy stays out. Remember, he has those fresh mediums anyway. Kieran goes in. Same with Luciano. Those guys have to pit onto the hards if they want to make it to the end of the Grand Prix. DXD Ishigo is in. Zach the Beast got held a little bit. He's now out. XF1, is he going to stay out, or is he going to go into the pits? He's been on those mediums 5 laps. Does he have any more set of mediums? No, he does not. He's going to stay out. Ron Swanson is going to stay out as well, as he's not close to the pit lane at the moment. He's actually behind the leader of Muniko, who actually may come into the box here, which hurts Muniko majorly, because he would have to go on to the hards if he wants to go to the end of the Grand Prix. This has pretty much thrown his race upside down. Let's see, I'm predicting a hard compounded tire. It's a soft, so he's going to go for another set of softs, because I don't think the tires can make it 21 or so laps. So Deer Hunter stays out. MooMooMlk comes in the Ferrari. Will he go to the same fortune as Muniko, or will he go to the softs? Will that be a double trouble for them, these guys? Oh, having a soft compound runner, because Miniko's going to jump, likes of Jared. There he goes going into turn 1 and now into turn 2. Jared's going into turn 1. He stays on those 5-lap-old mediums, so it's going to be a buffer. Deer Hunter on those 15-lap-old mediums. Muniko on those fresh softs. He's going to be very rapid. Jared on those 5-lap-old mediums, with Moo on those fresh softs, getting ahead of John by about maybe 5 seconds or so, maybe a couple seconds more. And it's going to be pretty much leading the train after Phantom of all fresh medium except for Crispy. 1 lap old for Cookie, 3 lap old for Crispy, 1 lap old for Bailey. That's a fresh set of hards for Luciano. It's now 1 lap old for him. Fresh set for UnsightedPort. Zach the Beast Axe, who's now on 6 lap old mediums. Kieran Evans, DXD Ishigo on both on fresh, and Ron Swanson on 2 lap old mediums. Well, thankfully for him, after Muniko pitted, he's actually going to be on the lead lap once again. He's not going to have to worry about overtaking the safety car or any other driver. So, it's going to be huge if some of these guys can grab this strategy at the end. What will Deer Hunter do? Will he stay out, try to do a one-stop? Try to go from the mediums to the softs? What will Muniko do? He's obviously, softs I don't think can make it from lap 16. Will he have to go on another set of softs? Will he go on another set of mediums? Well, we'll have to figure that one out in a few seconds' time if he goes to the pit lane. Jared, he can go to the end of the Grand Prix, but how close will those tires be? MooMoo's got to be the same fortune as Muniko ahead of him. Muniko goes in as well as Deer Hunter, and Muniko may actually just go on to another set of mediums, and same with MooMoo as well. So these guys are going to be under pressure, and now, I guess, a little bit of a disadvantage here, because not only are they behind Jared, John, now Muniko is behind Deer Hunter, who's on the hards. MooMoo is going to be behind both of them. They're now behind Phantom, Boss Cookie, Crispy, Bailey, and now Deer Hunter comes out in 7th, Muniko 8th, MooMoo 9th, Luciano is going to be behind them in 10th. So it's now going to be extremely, I guess, hard to overtake for some of these guys like Muniko, and especially Deer Hunter on those on those hards to get past the guys like John, like Jared, Phantom, Boss Cookie, Crispy, Bailey. So those guys are going to be pretty difficult to get past, and it's going to be a lot of overtaking, and there's a lot of laps left. We could have some fun here in Realistic. I said we would have a good race going on our hands. It looks like it's already going to be shaping up for one. The safety cars always bring a little bit of action to the Grand Prix, and it looks like this one has spiced it up 100%. The leader is Muniko, who's led from lights to flag. Well, has a little bit of an issue on his hand. He's now behind Deer Hunter, who actually led a couple of laps of his own. Those two have led the most laps. I believe Deer Hunter's led about 3. Muniko's led the rest. Jared has now going to come to the start-finish line this time by, as we should have either the safety car come in this time or next time to lead a lap as well. So, with about, we'll restart with, because we're not going to go in this time by. Let's see Ron Swanson a little bit too far behind the queue, unless he catches up, and we go in a little bit late for the safety car, which I don't think we will, because we're actually ending to the safety car window to, I guess, pull off in now. Let's go look at here. See Jared from the back of the Aston Martin safety car you see in front of him. Let's look at the back from the Alpine. Look at that. The Mercedes is angry. John wants a chance. He couldn't show up a week ago, and he wants a chance at this win. He's already in the podium spots, but look at him behind. That's Phantom and the Aston Martin. He wants to prove what he can do to the Aston Martin team principal Heatwave. Let's see what they can do in that P3 spot right now, ahead of Boss Cookie in P4. Crispy, Bailey, Deer Hunter, Muniko, MooMoo, Luciano, that's your top 10. UnsightedPort ahead of Zach the Beast, Axe F1, Kieran Evans, Dixie Ishigo, Ron Swanson, that's your top 16. And all active and running drivers, we've lost Supply Raptor, Ferrari Nut, Taylor Clan, and Valkyrie 420 for the Canadian Grand Prix. We've had 4 retirements, and we've had 17 laps. We're going to be restarting this lap as everyone is here. The safety car is going to come in at the end of this lap. The beautiful green Aston Martin safety car will come into the nature of the pit lane, and we'll have some fun once again. The engines will be released. The DRS will not be active until the 3 laps after the safety car comes into the pit lane. So it's going to be a lot of overtaking, but how many will be done without the assistance of the drag reduction system? If you don't know what the drag reduction system is, it's that little flip in the rear wing that will open up whenever you're within a second of the car in front of you. That will give you a little bit extra horsepower and lower the drag. Once again, why it's called the drag reduction system. Safety car once again is in this lap. It's going to be difficult for the guys like Jared and Phantom. They're on 7-lap old mediums. How will they hold up against the rest of the field? John's going to be charging. He's going to have just him and Jared, and there's nothing ahead of those two. Phantom's going to have a lot of pressure from Cookie, Crispy, Bailey, Deer Hunter down in 7th, the first one on the freshest tires with Muniko, MooMoo, Luciano. That's your top 10. We'll see how these guys fare as the restart will come in shortly. Jared has gone. Luciano grabs a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, track extensions. Yellow flag has been disabled, and now we are going again. Jared ahead of John ahead of Phantom. Cookie's looking for a mover on the outside. Yellow flag. Looks like Cookie's gone there. Muniko's off. What has happened to the Red Bull? Down the inside, that's going to be Cookie down for Phantom. Now 3rd and 4th. Crispy ahead of Bailey. UnsightedPort, 3-second time penalty. MooMoo. UnsightedPort's gone around. What's happened to UnsightedPort and to Muniko? Is there any damage to the McLaren? Not that I can see right now. No visual damage that I can see. And Muniko, he's going to be on the charge. Ron Swanson gets past him. Battle for 14th. We'll keep an eye on this charge. We also see a battle for the lead shaping up. The Mercedes of John going for this move. He's going to have no DRS this time. But Crispy gets past Phantom. Battle for 4th. The AlphaTauri is clean and going chasing after. That's going to be Boss Cookie in front of him. Muniko has DXD Ishigo. Both Alfa Romeos have been cleared for that Red Bull. Right now the lead Red Bull is Zach the Beast. But look at this. Here comes John. Will he go for this move? This time by the 13. No, he won't. He'll wait his time and try to go for this move into turn 1. Jared in the Alpine, the Renault engine, is going to be a little bit weaker down the straight lines compared to the Mercedes. There's no battery usage for the Mercedes of John. He's going to wait his time. Boss Cookie 1.3 seconds back. He now has under pressure from not one, but 2 AlphaTauris. There we go. Got it right eventually. With Phantom 6, he's dropped down from 3rd to 6th in about a lap or so. MooMoo's now on the back of him in the Aston Martin. You saw 1 Ferrari go around the outside of the Aston Martin. Could it be 2? We see Deer Hunter about a second back. Luciano, both on the hards there, Deer Hunter and Luciano. Let's see how those guys go. MooMoo has now been committed a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings and track extensions. Muniko past Kieran Evans. Zach the Beast, he's closing up the back of Luciano. He needs to get a move on because his teammate is on a rampage. Look at Muniko. Remember, he spun, I believe, is what happened. Yellow flag. Is that another car off? That's MooMoo off. He's out of the race. Phantom's off as well. And Axe had to have taken avoiding action. Muniko gets past him. Safety car again. And, well, that was probably a heart-stopping moment from Axe there. He may have actually avoided it. Oh, now he hit the wall again, so he will have to pit this time. That front wing may not be intact anymore. Anyone taking the nature of the pit lane this time? Looks like Deer Hunter and Luciano. Those will be the 2 names. Looks like Deer Hunter does. Luciano does. Axe F1 does, like I thought he would. Zach the Beast goes up to 6th, and that will put Muniko up to 7th. 8th will be Kieran Evans in the Williams, and 9th will be Dixie Ishigo. With, I believe, everyone else is coming. Actually, he'll repair his front wing. Yes, he says there's the Haas going into the front wing change right there. Luciano will be behind Deer Hunter. Deer Hunter 10th. Luciano 11th. Axe F1 12th. Ron Swanson gets ahead barely of UnsightedPort as a little bit of an unsafe release from the McLaren team, and with Axe F1 in 14th. So Jared did a good job here, by the way, of, well, keeping John behind. Now he has another chance to do it again. Axe gets past UnsightedPort, like we said. Axe is actually on those 8-lap-old mediums. He believes the mediums will be the best choice to go to the end of the Grand Prix. So, Cookie, he'll have another shot trying to go attack John before he gets away at DRC Jared. Both Alpha Tauris, both Crispy and Bailey, 4th and 5th respectively, they have a chance to go after Boss Cookie before he gets away. But look at this. Zachthebeast up to 6th. His teammate on a charge in 7th. His teammate was down in 16th at the beginning of that safety car restart. Not sure exactly why, but he's up to 7th now. He's on a charge, and he's driving angry. And when you drive angry, you either drive extremely erratic or extremely aggressive. It looks like the aggression has taken over at Muniko, and he is looking like a force to be reckoned with. Can he overtake his teammate? Will there be team orders between the two? Well, what about the Honda-powered cars? I know Crispy won't let him by. Would Bailey let him by? Well, we'll have to see about that. Boss Cookie 3rd, TTM John 2nd, DRC Jared in 1st. Obviously, those guys will not let them by. It's going to be about... We should go in this time by. So you see the queue is now backing up. You see XF1 is now going into the pit lane once again, probably for another set of tires, either the set of softs, because he probably can make it to the end of the Grand Prix if they come in this time by. We'll have about, what? Be lap 23. We'll have 13 laps of racing. So the mediums, they're pretty decent at that range, but the softs can, I believe, make it. So once again, Axe have chosen those soft compounded tire, and we'll have some fun there. A little bit of controversy you see reading in the chat. If you look at that, that's exactly what happened from the point of view of Moo in the Ferrari. We'll see what happens. Will there be a stewards inquiry? We'll have to figure that one out after the race itself. And tune in to... may have to tune into a little bit more than this if you want to see the full-fledged nature of the Breakout Racing League. If you're new here, welcome. It's glad to have you. My name is Hey Katra, and well, you're going to hear me a lot if you, well, watch Realistic, because there's no one here. So it's just me talking for about 2 hours' time. So if you don't enjoy my voice, I'll try to find someone to help me out with that. I'm sorry. I'll try to figure... yeah. But you also have a lot of fun in the other tiers. We have Tier 3, Tier 4 tomorrow at 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. We have Tier 2, Tier 1 at 10 p.m. and 8 p.m. respectively on Saturday, and we have ACC on Sunday. But right now, Realistic is going to be kicking up to an 11. We have Jared ahead of John. Jared's not going to go as early as he did last time. He's going to wait for this, and he's not gone. He's caught John completely off guard. He's not going to get overtaken by Cookie, who has to let him by because he got past him by the line. Cookie now in a 3rd, Crispy Bailey, Muniko Zach. Will these two have a swap? Muniko gets past his teammate. Zachthebeast is going to look for it. Once again, he will just stay past. So Muniko up to 6th, Zachthebeast up to 7th. Muniko is on a charge. The Canadian's trying to grab a home victory here in the circuit of Villeneuve. We'll have to figure that one out. Muniko past Bailey. What has actually happened there? Not exactly sure. Zachthebeast. Kieran Evans is now putting pressure to the back of the Red Bull. Well, we see Crispy as Luciano gets past DXC Ishigo. Battle for 9th. That's going to be a pretty big battle right now. It's going to be the other points. Crispy's out of the race. All the drivers take avoiding action at max velocity. First Muniko, then Bailey, then Zach. So right now, that has been atrocious for the Alpha Tauri team, because not only did Bailey lose the battle and his position to Muniko, Crispy's now out of the race. But now Muniko has had a shot, not at first, not at second, but at third. But I guess not at second, but third, but first. He has a chance to grab this victory and claw it back. He has a chance. He has the freshest tires in the top 7, because I believe that's going to be a real factor. Jared, Zachthebeast, they go at it. Zach goes to 5th, Muniko to 4th. Look at this. Cookie and John is going to convert this move for Jared. No, he's not. A little bit too far back. You can see she go 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings and track extensions. Luciano gets past Kieran Evans, but look at this. John looking for any possible space he can on that Alpine of Jared in front of him. Well, it's been kind of chaotic as well. Deer Hunter is in the pits again, so that's going to be not great for the Mercedes team. They need both drivers to step up and score. They are, once again, 50 points back from Red Bull. Red Bull's now 4th and 5th. John's the only Mercedes in the top 10 that will be scoring points tonight. As it stands right now, there's still 12 laps to go here in Montreal, and a plenty of opportunity. Remember, there's 14 corners here, 3 DRS straights, and there's plenty of chances for an overtake. John's fancying one right now. He may go for this move into turn 10. He's going to go for it down the inside to the right-hand side of the Alpine. Oh, contact made. Jared's been spun around. Cookie's now going to take the lead ahead of John. Muniko now goes up to 2nd. He gets past John in third. Zach the Beast, he's closing in on the Mercedes fast. He's now going to the left-hand side. Zach the Beast is ahead of John, and now it says 2-3 for Red Bull, chasing down Ferrari in first. It has gone complete disaster for Mercedes so far, because that may be a penalty going John's way. We'll have to see if the stewards take any note of that. DRS is now enabled, and the Red Bulls didn't need it, but now they definitely will take it, because the Ferrari ahead of them, they have a severe disadvantage on the straight line. The DRS will definitely help them. Should go going into the pit lane, but once again, let's actually take a look at this. 6 seconds time penalties between Boss Cookie, and there's no penalties in the top 5 other than the Ferrari. You see Jared is actually, John's out of the race. What has happened? John and Luciano exit of turn 7. Safety car again. See if we can get it on board from Deer Hunter. Hopefully we can before his car gets crated away from the marshals. There he is on the right-hand side. It may have been, I'm not sure exactly which driver lost it, but one of the drivers lost it going under acceleration through turn 7. Bosco will come in a pit. Muniko stays out. Zach the Beast, he'll stay out as well. It's not going to be a Red Bull 1-2 with the Honda-powered 3rd place with Bailey. 4th place will be UnsightedPort. And intermediate tires on Cookie's car. Okay. Are we at the same revenue as this venue here, bud? Are we at the same event? I don't think there's rain forecasted. Okay. I've seen some strange things so far this race, and, well, this takes the cake. Cookie's on the intermediate tires. Does he know something we don't? Well, right now, everyone else is on the soft compound. Axe comes in. Jared comes in. Deer Hunter, he's going to take advantage of that safety car. Luciano to 11th. Ishigo in 12th. And one name we actually haven't mentioned in a while, Kieran Evans and Ron Swanson, both Williams and Alfa Romeo. Right now, 7th and 6th and 5th. There we go. Finally got it. And that's huge for those two teams. Because remember, Williams have yet to score so far this season. They are 0. They have 0 points to their name. They are 3 points behind Haas. Axe of 1, he sits 8th. He will grab 4 points as it stands right now, but he has a time penalty. Kieran Evans has a time penalty as well. How many seconds does he have? That'll be 6. So as it stands, we'll come in next time by. So we'll come in with lap 28. We'll have about 8 laps to go. Kieran has 8 laps to find a 6-second gap to Cookie, Axe, and everyone else in the field to grab some points for Williams. That'll be the first driver to do so this season. Forecast says 5 minutes till rain. Well, if that's the case, we could have some real strategy play getting thrown out the window. Remember, Cookie's on those intermediates. I don't know if that's going to work out if it does rain, because even if it's at this slow speed, because remember, I mean, the intermediates, they're the softest. Look at the grooves on the tires. You can see them barely right there. You see them going through the corner. They're the softest tires because they have to be. They're malleable. They're grooved. It means more heat's going to be put in the tires pretty easily because that's what you have to do with the water. The more grooves and the more contact patch. But because of this, actually it's less contact patch. It's going to be more sliding. But regardless, because of this, the tires will heat up a lot faster. He's going to take all the grip out of those tires. And basically, if it does rain, those are not going to be the intermediates you want to be on. But regardless, the safety car will come in this time by, we've lost down from John, Crispy, Phantom, Cookie, Raptor, Ferrari Nut, Taylor Clan, and Valkyrie. And now we have, once again, 8 laps to go here in Realistic at Canada for round 7 of the Realistic Championship in the Breakout Racing League Season 7 campaign. And it's going to be a good one. Muniko, he wants to win this. This is his home Grand Prix. Remember, the Canadian wants this better than pretty much anyone in the field right now, because the other Canadian, well, unfortunately, is out of the Grand Prix, and that one being Moo and Phantom. And we're going to see how he goes. How late does he go? His teammate's behind him. He's gone now. Zachthebeast has gone behind him, and they've kind of jumped off Bailey a tiny bit. Port's going to be under pressure from the guy behind him. Bailey's going to be under pressure from Port. Down the inside. Look at that. Port's actually gone for this move. What a move around the inside. Now around the outside for turn 2. UnsightedPort and Bailey, they started the same row together. Now Port gets past him. 7-lap old softs compared to 13-lap old mediums. Will those softs make it? Port is going to be flying. Zachthebeast is going to play a crucial Muniko. XF1 gets ahead of Deer Hunter. Luciano to 8th. Ron Swanson down to 10th. DXC to 9th. Jared to 11th. Jared now down to 10th. Ron Swanson, yellow flag. Is that DXC should go? It is DXC should go. Luciano, though, he's making a move right now. Ron Swanson is a 2-lap old softs compared to 9-lap old mediums. And to the left-hand side will easily pass Kieran Evans and XF1 battling up there in front of you. See Axe, we see the Haas gets past Kieran Evans, and that's going to be another point for XF1. And this is going to be a really good finish right now for Haas. Remember, there's 11 points to Alfa Romeo. XF1 will be scoring 10 with the 3 points. They would jump Alfa Romeo with this finish alone. But Axe has a 3-second time penalty. Actually, he has a 6. And Deer Hunter doesn't have any penalties behind him. Kieran Evans has 6. And Luciano, I believe, has 6. DRC Jared Pitts, that's going to help DXC Ishigo get up to top 10. And now he has to hold off Boss Cookie in 11th. Right now, the whole battle is going to be up right here. UnsightedPort. Can he stay within the DRS range of the 2 Red Bulls in front? Lap 29 of 35. We have about 7 laps to go. Bailey, he's on 14-lap old mediums. Can his tires make it? Can Muniko's make it? Can Zachthebeast make it? Can UnsightedPort make it? We have to figure out who can make what tire, how much grip do you have left, and XF1 is coming. But no, look now, here comes Deer Hunter to the right-hand side. He has the Mercedes power. He doesn't have the DRS, but he's up into P5, and that Mercedes is charging. Axe has one of the freshest tires, but unfortunately the Haas's pace just isn't there. Deer Hunter gets past. Oh. Okay. Boskiki, 3-second time penalty once again. That probably is going to put his total to what? 9. Yes, it is. So that's going to actually hurt. It's going to hurt DXD, but help him at the same time because he needs to have a little bit of a gap. But it's going to really help Ron Swanson, who wants points like he did a couple weeks ago at Spain. And right now it's a perfect chance. P9 with no penalties. Kieran Evans in front of him has a lot of penalties. Same with Luciano and Axe F1. If he can stay within that gap, he could have a really good points-paying position in that Alfa Romeo. Right now up front, though, we have the gap to leader. Let's go take a look at that. 0.8 of a second. UnsightedPort is 2.8 back. He's 2 seconds adrift of Zachthebeast, but now it's time to play a little bit of games. It's called the waiting game. It's called the attacking game. It's called a little bit of, I guess, risk, if you want to play it in the board game kind of category. We have Bailey. Does he overtake him now? But how, if he waits, he has a chance of being overtaken by Deer Hunter. UnsightedPort, does he stay all defensive? DXC gets passed by Boss Cookie, who then re-overtakes him. Jared's actually pitted a second time. That's going to actually really help DXC Ishigo in his battle for 10th. Here comes Bailey once again. Deer Hunter's looking for the move. Is he going to make the move? No, he's not. He's going to stay behind the Alpha Tauri once again. But look behind them. Those two have a little bit of company. Luciano and XF1. Those two are closing in at a significant rate with the DRS. That actually could help these two drivers get into this fight as well. Let's go look. Once again, the gap to intervals. 3/10. Look at the gap between the first and second has come down a decent amount. Luciano and XF1, they've now switched positions. Battle for 6 there. DRC Jared has a 3-second time penalty for multiple points track extensions. But look at Bailey and UnsightedPort. Bailey goes around the outside of turn 1. Will he make the move stick? It looks like he will. Still, he's going to hang it there. Port's going to still be there. It looks like Bailey's going to have better traction. Yes, he does. Bailey goes up to P3 on the podium. Once again, it's all Honda. 1, 2, 3 with a chance, though, of Deer Hunter making this party be interrupted. He has one of the freshest tires. Luciano and XF1 has the freshest tires in the top 10 with DXC Ishigo having close second. But Boss Cookie is now being pitted again, so that's actually going to help DXC Ishigo grab a points-paying position. The Deer Hunter is now going to be chasing after UnsightedPort. We have about 5 laps to go. At the strike, we'll have 4, and it's going to be all about these two up front. The Red Bulls, once again, a week ago, it was kind of like this, with a little bit of a chance. Look at the camera angle. That's actually the first time I've seen that in a while. Muniko ahead of Zachthebeast, a second gap. Is he going to get there? DRS for the Red Bull. It's going to be coming in. There's a little bit of rain. There was rain forecasted, and now it's come down on the track, onto the circuit. Will it be intermediate or full wet conditions? Will it get that far? We have 4 laps to go. Is it going to get that close? Is it going to get that damp? Is it going to get that wet? We have to figure out in a few moments' time, because it did get pretty wet pretty quick. In qualifying, it could happen again. We could see some turmoil. We could have some crashes, some drama. Ron Swanson in the Alfa Romeo. He's come in P9. Is this going to be for intermediate tires? Yes, it is. Intermediate tires going on the Alfa Romeo. A little bit of strategy. Is this too early? Is he banking on the Portimao effect? And UnsightedPort has actually gone around, I believe. Oh, he hasn't. He has been overtaken, though, by Luciano, by Deer Hunter, and by Bailey. XF1's being behind him. So Ron Swanson on those intermediates. We have a couple laps to go. Bailey, 3-second time penalty. That is going to hurt him. Deer Hunter may grab the podium off merit. If not, off a podium, off of penalties. We have to see how that Mercedes parries out. But remember, the rain is coming down. Is it going to be getting that hard where we have a chance to go see some intermediate or full wet tires? Let's go look up the battle for the lead, though. Once again, DRS range. These two, they've seen some better days when it comes to races. A week ago, they had one of the best of races for those two. This race has been up and down. Remember, Zach started down in 15th. He could not get a qualifying lap in because of the rain that came down in qualifying, too. It's kind of poetic that the rain is now going to be separating him and Muniko for a chance to win, because if it gets raining enough where they have some intermediate tires, how far will Ron Swanson have the pace? We'll have to figure that one out in a few laps' time as the laps wind down. We have 3 laps to go and 2 laps to go as we hit the strike. The next time by, it may be a pretty much easy 1-2. Will it stay like this? Remember, a week ago, Zachthebeast was in this exact position. He was behind Muniko, got past him, and ended up winning the race. Will it be the same situation? Will Muniko stay ahead this time? Will any one of these two get a penalty and put the other driver up to the podium and the Grand Prix victory? We'll have to see in a few laps' time as well. Remember, Bailey's still under pressure from Deer Hunter. He has that penalty now. So it may not be a Honda 1-2-3, because right now it would be Deer Hunter, because he has no time penalties. He has 0 seconds. You see those little black and white boxes to the right-hand side of the driver's tires. Well, Ron Swanson's been overtaken by Boss Cookie. Looks like those intermediates have not worked. Deer Hunter's going to look for this move with Bailey into turn 13. Is he going to have to make this move? Clambering over the cars, the Alpha Tauri. And it looks like into the wall he goes. And the Alpha Tauri and the Aston Martin make contact. No front wing in plate for Luciano. 3-second time penalty for Kieran Evans. It's all popping off. UnsightedPort gets up to P5. Luciano's lost his end plate. That's going to hurt him. XF1 is now going to get past Luciano up to 6th. Kieran Evans, he's on 19 lap of mediums, trying to struggle his way through. He's up into 8th, and he has a 11-second gap over Ishigo. It looks like the gamble from Ron Swanson is not going to pay off. Back up front, that's the closest battle on track. 6 tenths going into turn 8 and 9. It's now 5 tenths. We're not going to go on to the final lap of the Grand Prix in a few seconds' time. Does he have enough for him this time by? Will it be enough? Remember, the rain is still coming down. Will it caught any of these guys off guard? Similar ERS, 62, 38, a little bit more towards the favor of Muniko. The DRS ranges and DRS zones are counting down. Yellow flag looks like Ron Swanson, or it could have been actually Ishigo has gone around in the exit of turn 7 and it's straight away between turn 7 and turn 8. Zachthebeast has one final lap, or on the final lap of the Grand Prix here in Canada, for the Canadian Grand Prix here in Breakout Racing League Season 7, Round 7 of the Realistic Championship. And it's going to be a good one between not one, but both Red Bulls. Muniko, he was close to winning a race ago. He came up a little bit short. Grabbed second at the end of the Grand Prix. Zachthebeast, he ended up winning the Grand Prix. He runs second right now. We could see an inverse of what happened a week ago, even though going through this race, we didn't expect to see a 1-2 for Red Bull. And this is definitely something that the Red Bull, I may have to ask him afterwards, and they wanted to see if they think this was going to happen as well. Because right now, Zach, remember, he started 15th. He started all the way down at the bottom of Q2. He's up to second. Muniko, he was behind 7 other drivers before the safety cars started to come in. Kieran Evans passed Ishigo, battle for 8th, going on between the Williams and the Alfa Romeo. But not many Canadians can say they've done this. Going into Canada, Canadians never seem to really grasp this track. Well, I guess we found one that can. Through turn 14, through the wall of champions, it's going to be a 1-2 for Red Bull, but that's not going to be anywhere in comparison. It's the Canadian Grand Prix.
win for Muniko, and win for Canada, ahead of Zachthebeast, ahead of Deer Hunter, who now finishes third on the line. He's been overtaken on the line by Bailey, but due to the penalties, he's going to come home fourth, and UnsightedPort fifth, Axe F1 sixth. That is an incredible performance from the Haas team. That is going to be 8 points for the Haas team, and that's going to put them even on points with Alfa Romeo. Luciano has no front wing. It's going to be a race to the line. He's going to get it, though. 7th place for Luciano in the Aston Martin. But look at this. This is a story. Williams have yet to score in 2021 in Realistic. Well, they did now. Kieran Evans comes home 9th with 2 points to his name. DXT Ishigo comes home 4th. That'll put them ahead of ahead of Haas again. With those 4 points, it'll be 15-11. And Bosco will come home with a final points paying position. DRC Jared retired from the Grand Prix in the exit of turn 14. So even after the gamble, you see this, the Alpine stricken to the right-hand side right there. Even after the gamble, it didn't pay off, but 11th for Ron Swanson. What a Canadian Grand Prix it's been. I told you it was going to be important. I told you it was going to be fun. I told you it was going to be incredible and one to remember for a while. And it has. Zach the Beast wins driver of the day, like I said, from 15th to 2nd. And that is a clip and a race that he is going to remember for a decent amount of time. Red Bull, they got 1-2 at Baku. They made it 2 in a row again. Before this, they have yet to get a 1-2. The only team to do it was McLaren. Looks like they found the perfect driver pairing for Red Bull and Milton Keynes, because once again, 1-2 at Baku. They did 1-2 at Canada. Like I said, it happened a week ago, but the roles were reversed. Muniko wins the Canadian Grand Prix ahead of his home fans, ahead of his teammate Zach the Beast in second. 1-2 once again for the second race running for Red Bull. Mercedes grabs a podium, which they lost out on a week ago. Deer Hunter grabs P3, Bailey P4, UnsightedPort P5, Axe F1, a great finish for the Haas team. That's going to be 8 points again for Axe, and an incredible tally for the Haas team that really shouldn't have any, I guess, business being up there. Those drivers are being absolutely incredible with the car they have to work with. That's now 6th position and 8 more points for Axe F1. Luciano to 7th, DXT Ishigo in the Alfa Romeo. He gets 4 points. He gets Alfa Romeo a little bit farther ahead of Haas, even though it's a little bit slim now. 15th to 11th. That's going to be the point scale going into next week in France. Kieran Evans, P9. That's the first Williams points for this season. 2 points to be exact. And that's going to be some great points indeed and welcoming from the Williams team. Bosco grabs 10th after what could have been a chance at a podium. Well, unfortunately, it's P10. Ron Swanson comes home P11 on the intermediate tires. He tried to take a gamble. It didn't work out too well. And unfortunately, finishes 1 place out of the points paying position. DRC Jared, he finished 12th and he made it to the line. Almost. He was 1 lap short. Crashed coming to the line. TTM John, we lost him. We lost Crispy, Phantom, Moo, Supply Raptor, Ferrari Nut, Taylor Clan, and Valkyrie of the Canadian Grand Prix. And what a Grand Prix it was. Just waiting for Deer Hunter to come into the party. We should have a full podium interviews once again. And, well, it's been, once I said it in qualifying. You can quote me back on it. You can even clip the stream if you can find it back. Was going to be a race to watch and a race to remember. And that is definitely a race to remember for a lot of these drivers. So once again, we'll wait for Deer Hunter to come in and we'll start the podium interviews. But to the drivers who are in the party already, when I come to you, make sure your box is clicked in the top of the party to make sure you are heard from the fans in the chats coming through Twitch. See if I can get him in here because he's not joining right now.
Oh, look, we actually get a chance to go in the showroom. That's poetic. You know what? Fine. Maybe. Finally, Deer Hunter joined. My God. There he is. You were ordering Domino's. There it is. Okay, so when I go to you, make sure your box in the top of the party is included, and we'll have actually a special guest here. We usually have 3 interviews, but we'll make an exception this time because we definitely do need to have at least 2 driver of the days, especially after that crazy race. We'll go to the first one. XF1. Welcome to the podium interviews for the first time. Even though it's not a podium, it's still 6th place in a car that really had no business being up there. Your Haas team, you and I Am Tweaking, are doing an incredible job right now. Let's go to you. What do you think about the Haas performance at Canada? Wow.
It was god-awful, I can tell you that much. I spent the first half of the race taking penalties and, just getting the car shaken down, and thankfully we got the safety cars and a bit of chaos, so just had to keep the nose clean, and it's a lot of fun, so I can tell you that.
Well, it sure looked like a lot of fun. That race was chaotic and crazy, and congratulations on your P6, and that's hopefully more points for you and the Haas team to come.
Hopefully. I would like to shout out this team boss Etheb and my race engineer Square, so
Let's go.
appreciate everybody.
Okay, once again, congratulations on your P6. Let's hope that's more to come from the Haas team. They're looking pretty smart and pretty quick out there on the grid so far this season. We'll see how they play out through the rest of the Grand Prix. But now let's go on to the podium interviews. P3, Deer Hunter, in a race that really showed a lot of promise for a lot of drivers and, a lot of chaos, too. You came to prevail. P3 it is for Mercedes and another podium. I believe this is your 2nd or 3rd on the season. Did you think you can get P3? Do you think you can get more?
I really thought I could have had a shot at the win, and then safety car came out, and then got damaged when everybody balled up, and then had a rebound again. So it kind of sucks that it's the 2 Red Bulls in front of us, but after the way that race went, I'll take a podium. It was chaotic, that's for sure.
Okay, yep. Once again, it was definitely chaotic, and that's something that we saw from there. I can't imagine how it is in the cockpit down in sort of Gilles Villeneuve. Well, we go from Gilles Villeneuve to Paul Ricard, France. Mercedes, how do you think you, especially and your teammate John, how do you think you'll fare against the Red Bulls? Because right now it's been 1-2 at Baku, it's been 1-2 at Canada. Will it be a 1-2 at France, or can you have something to say about it?
I think it'll be a little bit more even. Where we were better here is we were better on the long run pace, on the mediums. That's where I thought I could have won, is I was really starting to close in on Muniko in that long run stint. But obviously we had just too many safety cars. If we managed the tires really well, if we can do the same thing at France, we can have a shot. But France, it's such an evenly balanced track between Red Bull and Mercedes. We're just going to have to wait and see. So.
Yeah, we'll wait and see indeed, and we cannot wait for it in about a week's time. But once again, congratulations on your podium, P3 for Mercedes, in a track and a race that was really chaotic, and we can't wait to see more of it.
Thank you.
Let's go to P2 and Zachthebeast. Well, a win a week ago. It was the top of the session in Q1, and it honestly looked like it was a chance to have the exact opposite of what happened at Baku. Remember, if you don't recall, Muniko topped Q1, Q2, Q3 at Baku. Zachthebeast ended up winning the race. I had a little bit of a prediction. What if it happened if Zachthebeast topped Q1, Q2, Q3, and Muniko won the race? What could happen there? Well, it didn't get to play out because qualifying 2 had a little bit of rain. And, that affected your lap. You started 15th. Walk us through from starting from 15th, that low on the grid in the Red Bull. How did it feel? Comparison.
For the Q2 part, I can't blame Zeno or the game. It happens in real life as well. I just got stunned. Okay, I just accidentally muted my mic, but anyway. Going in Q2, it was not the game's fault, it wasn't Zeno's fault. I just got held up in the pit lane. Zeno was coming in, I was coming out. It was just unfortunate circumstances. And in the race, starting 15th, to be honest, I wasn't quite nervous. Like, I enjoy coming from the back, really. I have a lot of fun doing that. So all I did was be passive-aggressive, really, trying to get the way through. Eventually, I was stuck in a DRS train with Crispy, Mumu, and Luciano. And eventually, we kind of went, like, not 4 wide, but we were close to it. And Crispy tried backing out of it, and I got wing damage from that, so I had the box for that. And the safety cars saved me, definitely. If it wasn't for safety cars, I don't even think I'd be in the top 5 right now.
Well, in the top 5 you are, and once again, 1-2 for Red Bull. That's something that they didn't have before a week ago. Obviously, you were on top a week ago ahead of Muniko, but now it's the other way around, and that's definitely showing a pairing. You remember, you said, I believe, to me before the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, you two worked well together, and you knew that was going to be a good pairing. Well, it's been 2 rounds, and it's been 1-2, and pretty much scored equal points in both races. Would you confirm that statement or deny it?
Confirm. I also like to point out, like, every time I've been in a party with Zeno, I've gotten good results, and every time I haven't, I've either DNF'd or gotten a terrible result. So, it seems like that trend is continuing. So, as long as I'm in a party with Zeno, I'm going to get at least a top 5 finish. That's what the trend, that's not ego, by the way, I'd like to say. That's according to the trends.
According to the data. Well, I said the same thing. To Deer Hunter, I'll say it to you. It's France for a week from now, and it's going to be a time to, I guess, show exactly what that Honda engine has to show for you. It happened and helped at Baku. Could it happen again? 1-2 Baku, 1-2 Montreal. Could it be 1-2 at Paul Ricard?
I don't want to jinx anything, but me and Zeno have a really strong pace there. If you remember back in Season 5, I went on a last lap, last corner pass, so I'm expecting to have strong pace around there as well, so I'm hoping for a 1-2. I'm not going to say that it's going to happen because chances are I'm going to jinx it, so I'm going to say I hope that we're going to get it.
Well, let's hope you get it too from your point of view and from your Red Bull side of the garage. We'll hope it's a great race from our side, and it was a great race from the side tonight at the Canadian Grand Prix. So once again, congratulations on your P2, the 2nd in a row for Red Bull, and I believe the 3rd or 4th on the season. Let's now go to the winner, the race winner. It, I guess, is a little bit of a turn of events. I mean, it's probably not going to be 100% elated because you had a lot of things go wrong and a lot of things not go your way. But Muniko, is it definitely a lot higher of a, I guess, emotional level? I guess you won your home Grand Prix at Canada. How does it feel?
I don't really know how to react, to be honest. I mean, I'm stuttering over here, as you can clearly tell. I don't know how to react to any of that. I mean, obviously, yeah, it's a home Grand Prix win and all that, but I wasn't really thinking about that too much. But yeah, it's just great to finally have a win. As like my last win was actually last season at Baku, and I wasn't able to get that chance last week. So I guess you could say that this was a bit of redemption, and I'm glad to finish on the podium once again with Zach. It seems that we make a really strong pairing.
A strong pairing indeed you have made. Once again, 1-2 in Azerbaijan, like I've said it numerous times, a 1-2 here in Montreal. I've said the same thing to Zach. I'll say it to you. Do you think a 1-2 is possible in France and Paul Ricard a week from now?
I definitely think so. I mean, the Rebel is pretty decent in a straight line, but the cornering speed of this car is unbelievable. So the 3rd sector, we could possibly throw in something crazy. Well, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm hoping that we can do pretty much the same. It does have the long straights, but I'm not sure if that'll be much of a factor. But I'm hoping that we can do it for a 3rd time in a row and do it for our manager, Feta.
All right. Well, hopefully, indeed, it can happen. But once again, that'll be it from myself and the rest of the Realistic tier. But once again, congratulations on your podium and your win for the first time, I believe, since, like you said, Baku in Tier 2 a season ago. Red Bull looking quite pacey with their 2 new drivers and 2 new signings. It looks like it's going to work out after all.
Yeah, thank you. And I just want to give a quick mention real quick to mine and Zach's race engineer, actually, Bois. He's been, ever since we came into Baku, as teammates, he's been helping us as much as he possibly can, trying to help us with strategy and stuff like that. So obviously, huge shout out for him. He really helped us with the strategy and how to make things work, and that's definitely paid off in the last 2 races.
And yes, it has indeed. I don't think it's been a. I don't think you could have a better stretch of 2 races. Well, you probably could if you got fastest lap both times, which I don't think both of you did, to be honest. Who got fastest lap?
I believe it was
Luciano.
Luciano. Well, regardless, it couldn't get much better than that. So 1-2 for Azerbaijan, 1-2 to Canada, and hoping for a 1-2 at Monaco, or not Monaco, France. Hoping for a 1-2 at Monaco.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
well, for myself,
You're going back in time.
I am. I'm getting a time machine.
I can
well,
join you if I want to redo Baku. No, I'm kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
no,
I'm
no,
kidding.
no,
Nah,
no, no,
I'll
no,
let Zach
no.
have that.
Yes, you keep my win. That's probably the only win I'm
Oh.
gonna have. So.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll see.
I don't know about that. But let's get this thing, I guess, towards the curtains then. Once again, I'm Haycatcher and Wronged with Muniko, with Zach the Beast, Deer Hunter, and we joined by Axe as well, who finished P6 in the Haas. We had to give a quick shout out to him once again. But if you're not satisfied with the racing and you want to see more, that's completely fine. We have you. We have it hooked up. We have a fresh set of drivers ready. Tomorrow, we have Tier 3 and Tier 4 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Friday night. And it's going to be good racing around the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And if you want to see the best of the best we have, tune in the next day on Saturday. We have Tier 2 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Tier 1 at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's going to be a fun time with me, with Mitchie, and it's going to be a lot of fun at the streets of, I guess, the street hybrid of Montreal. Well, if you don't like F1, that's completely fine also. We also have one more kind of series, and you'll know a familiar face, or I guess in this case voice, whenever you hear him. Axe F1 and the all ACC group. It would be Saturday, or Sunday, I'm sorry, but it's Halloween. We have a little bit of fun in the ACC group. We're not going to go make you have a little bit more fun, you know. That's going to be a week from a week from Sunday, so it'll be the 7th of November. They'll release, I guess they'll go back racing at, I believe it is Brands Hatch, so have some fun there. But a week from now, we'll have the Realistic Grand Prix at France. This time, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, and we'll have the race in Realistic Grand Prix at France. And on Wednesday, you don't want to miss out. You have Formula 2 at France. That could be a fun one. We have a lot of fun there. UnsightedPort, Taylor Clan, 2 names, Ferrari Nut, example, for Deer Hunter. You have a lot more going to try their hand in the Formula 2 Championship. But from myself and Haycatcher and everyone in the Breakout Racing League and the Realistic Championship, we wish you a good night, and thanks for watching.